Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Everybody's having a great day. I want to start out. Where's my background music, guys? Is it so low? We can't hear it. I think it is. I hate silence. I hate it when I'm listening to a podcast and it goes silent. It's so awkward. Anyway, hope everybody's having a good day. I did see some people in the chat addressing the accident that happened in DC. I don't want to talk too much about it in detail because it will definitely get the stream flagged. But I will say it's really unfortunate. I hope they get to the bottom of it and figure out what happened. But yeah, as more news is coming out, like who was in the plane and all that, I was like, okay, it's crazy, it's sad, and hopefully get to the bottom of that. So anyway, I just wanted to acknowledge that. It was in DC. I'm surprised if you haven't heard that it was all over the news cycle today. So
it's like the big news in the past. It's like the only thing they're talking about, really, past 48 hours.
Happy almost Friday. Yeah, almost the weekend. So I will say the weather's going to be beautiful this weekend, so that's really good. I'm excited. We're probably going to have a fun weekend at all the places going. So what did you say?
Chap weather.
Oh yeah, definitely chap weather. I'm dusting them off right now.
So you admit you have them. You denied it.
I had to order some in pink.
Here we go. This whole ordering. I haven't got the money to order them.
Oh, by the way, 3Dub, I didn't tell you yet, but the fan film reaction stream that I asked you to be on is going to be next week. So I'll let you know what day. We're going to be reacting to some of your guys' suggestions. Hopefully we do not get hit by any weird YouTube thing.
The thing is the only one that didn't get hit last time was the borderline porn parody. So
yeah.
More
that was wait, that was Bat in the Sun, right? Wasn't it Bat in the Sun?
Oh, is that Wolverine?
No, I mean the actual YouTube channel. I think it's Bat in the Sun is the YouTube channel. Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. Why is my camera so far down? So weird. Okay, there we go.
What were you doing before the stream?
We're not going to talk about that. Anyway, so what we're going to talk about tonight is it was actually we had all that news on Tuesday, and then today there's just not a ton. We're going to look at the Invincible teaser that came out. I think there's a Wednesday teaser that came out also. So we're going to look at that. We're going to be ranking the Marvel TV shows, live action shows in this one. Cause I tried to do one with the animated stuff, but that was like 100 things. I was like, no, we're not going to do that. So we're just doing live action shows tonight with the Marvel. I'm going to give you guys some of my DCU fan casting. I thought about it today on who I'd like to see or who might be interesting. So we're going to talk about that. Of course, we have some Twitter stuff to go over. But I do want to start out, since Darren's here and he's not going to be able to stay the whole time. I do want to talk a little bit about some of the stuff around Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and the first couple episodes. Now, Paige didn't watch it, so you're just going to have to live vicariously through
Hold on. You didn't even ask me.
Did you watch it?
No.
See, I already knew you didn't watch it. So you're going to have to live vicariously through us. But here's by the way, this is the chart of the shows, so you guys get to see what we have in the list. Now, there are multiple seasons because of the fact that that's the way the list was made, but we're not going to be ranking seasons. I'm only going to be ranking the shows. So anything that has multiple seasons, even though it's in this list, I'm only going to be talking about where I would rank the shows. So that's where that is. Anyway, let's see here. We have, let me get all the Spider-Man stuff up in front so we can talk about that. Actually, I wanted to go. Where's it at? Is it on Rotten Tomatoes yet? I want to see where it's at.
For what? Friendly Neighborhood?
Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, yeah.
It was 100%.
Let's see where it's at now. All right, here we go. Let's switch over to this tab. And, it's not at 100 anymore. Haters won. No, it's 97% from critics and 67% from fans. I'm surprised it's
interesting.
Okay. Conspiracy theory. Where's that what is it? The what is it? The X-Files or whatever, the that little noise effect. I don't have it handy. I feel like some people are probably downvoting it because of all the drama around it. I'm not going to say I have that 100% in my mind, but I can't imagine after watching the show you would have such a negative opinion that you would think that it's worthy of a 67%. But there is a lot of drama surrounding it, and we talked a little bit about that the other day, but I don't know if you saw or not, Darren and Paige, but the actor apologized less than a day later. Did you see that? He came out and said that he misspoke. Let me see if I can find that.
No, it wasn't the actor. It was one of the writers.
Yeah,
spoke for him,
it was the lead writer.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, which is funny. Where it's like, oh, he he like misspoke and he didn't mean that. It's like, how else do you mean that though? Like I don't know how you misspeak in that regard unless you just like fundamentally don't know what it means.
Yeah. The writer Jeff Trammell on Hudson Timms, I guess, I don't know what it is, woke comment. I believe he misspoke, and I know that's been weighing on him. So they're trying to cover up what he said in this whole situation. But I do want to point out, and I don't want to spoil, I'm not going to spoil the cliffhanger at the end of the second episode. So if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil anything. But I do want to talk about this right here. I saw this. Matter of fact, we should probably go ahead and just play the theme song. So I saw this post and this made me laugh. I even gave it a little like here. So Hudson's a silly goose because Nico's gay or bisexual. Did they say if she was gay or bi, or is it just
not in this? Like, I know in the Runaway show she's a lesbian, so I don't know if going that direction or.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't tell if they were going with like bisexual or gay. Either way, queer character. Right. Connors is a black woman, and Lonnie is racially profiled by the police. And I'm sure that's not everything. You could probably find other things in here that were kind of like quote unquote woke. So it almost feels like his statement didn't even matter because the show does have quote unquote woke elements in it. So I'm not really sure
but why. That's the thing. And this is sort of ties back to what we were talking about. That's clearly not what he was referring to.
Right.
Because we've talked about how things can be woke, but it's like, as I said before, like the Bluey reference, like they just start talking about the Gaza war for no reason whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what you would be I don't even know, like, I can't even think of an example of what could have been brought into the show to fit into that, you know.
Like political stuff. Because we talked about that. It's like political.
But this is stuff, I mean, it's set in New York. I mean, especially like the hoods of New York, like it's in Brooklyn and Queens and stuff like that. Right. Well, I don't know if it's in Brooklyn, but obviously being Queens. So this fits into it. And actually, to be honest, and it's no offense to this Shui John dude, but I think it's sort of bringing out the idiots that have like a baseline thing, you know, a baseline reference point to it. And honestly, it might be of, you know, how they use the term dog whistle before in that
right.
article.
Yeah.
I think it's actually, you know, when it's like when people like, they bring up the offensive stuff. It's like, oh, these are what these people are going to get offended by or something like that. It's like, hold on, why are you bringing it up then?
Right. Well, that's it. I mean, and that's kind of why I didn't understand why he made the comment anyway. Like, what was the point of even saying that? I mean, I appreciate that he's being honest, but at the same time, what a piss poor way to like get your point across.
And what's the like the litmus test for that? Like, what's like, what is, I guess you can't say the example because it's probably something so ludicrous. It's like, hold on, why are you even thinking about that?
Yeah.
So I don't even know what it could be. It'd have to be like some sort of like,
I mean, it's essentially a new Spider-Man origin story. So where would you fit in anything overtly political into this story? It takes place in his neighborhood in New York City.
The only thing is if you use some sort of like real world thing, like you use someone's name or something like that. And then be like, hold on, why that feels out of place. And then you could use that. But then also it depends on the angle you're going with it.
Yeah, right. And we're not even talking about the fact that you know, what you call it, why am I drawing a blank on this? Coleman Domingo, is that his name? Yeah. The actor? Okay. The fact that his character was also changed racially as well isn't even mentioned here in this little post. And that was one of the big ones. Yeah, coming in. So, which by the way, also all the people saying that Harry was giving them like queer vibes, he didn't give me that at all in the episode. I mean,
he just has a man bun.
He just looks like a stylish teenager. Like there was nothing in it that was like overtly...
like he's someone that would probably get made fun of in Instagram reels, but like there's nothing to...
Well, yeah, I'm saying like there was nothing, because remember they were making up the whole thing about the way Peter was carrying him in that shot, like he was holding him or whatever. They're like, oh, that seemed like maybe there was something going on there. It wasn't. It literally was like a 5-second moment in the episode. It wasn't even that big of a deal. My point being is that his statement to sort of win over that community didn't work because they're still complaining about the show. If you go and you look here on YouTube, the people that were complaining about it being woke before it ever came out are still complaining about it being woke. And his comments, they're laughing at him because he said it. And all the stuff that's mentioned here in this post, among other things from the show, they would consider woke. So it almost seems like he doesn't even know what he was talking about. So he did exactly what I was worried about, Darren, which was he sort of alienated some of the people that were supporting the show. And then he did not win over any of the people who were already feeling negatively about the show. So it's just a dumb statement altogether. It was absolutely dumb. And I hate that it's hurting the show in any way, because I think the show is I had a lot of fun with the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Eric, I can tell you for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
It did nothing bad for the show. It brought more attention to the show. As I said to you in that DM, it's arguably goated marketing.
I don't know about that.
If
It's dumb. It's dumb if it is.
I think in regards to this, it's just like one of those things of like, it brought you attention. Mm-hmm. All Disney probably cares about in regards to this is getting as many viewers, so where it makes.
Well, the writer wouldn't have issued an apology on behalf of him if that was.
Yeah, but he wasn't the one that said it.
But it doesn't matter. Disney told him to do it.
I don't think it's on purpose, but I do think it's helped the show, because I've had at least 2 friends that forgot about the show, and then when this controversy came out,
you think the drama? Yeah,
like, there's a new Spider-Man show. Okay, I guess I'll check it out today, because all the controversy all week. It's arguably been better marketing than anything a trailer has done. So, unfortunately,
it was better marketing, and then for some reason, after the show came out, they released a good trailer for the show.
Fantastic trailer.
I saw that trailer and I'm like, why was this not the first one?
That got me.
Jealous, Paigey.
We have Skittles Clouds over here. Do you have those ones?
No.
They're like those. They're like meant to be like. They're not a gummy. They're like a. I don't know. It's almost like a. I don't know.
Finish what you're saying, Darren. Finish what you were saying, Darren. I didn't mean to sidetrack Paigey.
No, it's fine. That second trailer just couldn't come out because it's a spoiler for the end of episode 2. So they were probably just waiting, but it is a better trailer. Like, it does fit the tone of the show better.
So Cody here does. It's the same thing with Brave New World. The boycott will only make people more curious. I actually think that's true. Yeah. I think that's true, actually. By the way, I wanted to do a shout out for the goal tonight, because a lot of people were asking me to do another 5-hour stream. So I added that into the actual poll. So, Paige, you're going to love one of these options. So, if we hit the goal tonight, which is 10 super chats, So, 5-hour stream is one. Is it what?
Is it real world based?
No. Well, yeah, there is one. Yes. I know what you're talking about. So we have 5-hour stream, because everybody seemed to love that one. That's one of them. Worst DC castings over the years. So that would be a fun topic to have. DCU worst things they could do, so possibly like things we don't want to see in the DCU, and then Paige's personal favorite, car reviews. So I'll do a car review based on like if car review wins, I will do another poll to find out what the car review.
You can do car review. If that wins, then people get to choose what you do the car review.
Yes, yeah. But we need 10 super chats before the end of the stream.
Reviewing different cars,
no, reviewing.
Reviewing. That's boring.
That would be funny. Yeah, no, that would be funny.
Well, Eric has 6 in his garage. You just recently got the Rolls Royce.
It's doing reviews in my car, which is I used to do those because I had to work right after. What was it? Was it the Flash or Arrow? I can't remember which one it was.
It was one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, when they would end, and I would have to go to work immediately, so I'd have to film in my car. Anyway, so that's the goal. 10 super chats at any level if you're in the Reloaded channel. So thank you guys so much. All right. With that being said, let's talk a little bit about our thoughts on the show and in general, just whether or not we think it's going to be solid or whatever. I have to say, I was one of the people who was less concerned about the art style, only because I'm a little bit relaxed on this sort of like what if type of art, I guess you could say, where it doesn't look as hand drawn as like regular cartoons do. Me and the group of friends that were watching the show loved it. We loved the way it looked, because whenever we would pause a frame, it looked like a page of a comic book. And I think that's what they were going for. But that's not going to be for everybody. I realize that some people are not going to like the art style. I'm vibing with it right now, and I hope it continues to be as fun as it was in the first 2 episodes throughout the next couple seasons. Because again, we're getting 2 more seasons of this, apparently. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. What are your opinions on the art style, Darren?
I really wanted to like it because I really get what they're going for. It definitely looks like a graphic novel. It looks like you're reading a comic book. I think that's incredible. I really love that inspiration. it's just not for me. Like in terms of the animation, I had a hard time just kind of focusing in on the story because I was like, oh, it looks kind of funky in spots. But I get what they're doing. Like, I 100% get why, and I get why people like it, and I really respect that. I just think it's harder for me to get into this animation style. I do hope maybe just with season 2 they can like crisp it up a little bit, like make it,
what is your actual, like, if you, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but is there anything specifically that you don't like about it, or is it too flat? Like, what is it that you're not?
I'm not an expert on like animation or anything. It just, I don't know, like I have a hard time, I don't know, just getting, I don't know. It's just like I see this and I say, oh yeah, this looks like a comic book, and I have a hard time like fully.
So, what would you give an example of, like a movie or a TV show that has an animation style that you? Because I'm trying to see like what your vibe is in regards to like art.
That's the thing. Usually, animation doesn't bother me. Like, I know a lot of people hate Invincible because know of like that animation style, and normally, and
it's a very simple style. It's very
simple. Yeah, no, and like normally, and I do think this will be the case because again, I really do like the show. Like this, like it doesn't break the show for me. If it has a good story, it has a good cast, I can deal with like some not great animation and stuff like that. But again, it's a style.
Do you like it more or less than the What If animation? Because I know a lot of people aren't fans of that either.
Here's the thing: What If I think is lazy. This is at least creatively
right.
They did it for the because it's based on comics.
It's a stylistic choice that didn't work for you, opposed to one that they just tried to cut corners. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I will say this. Yeah, Cody. So that's the first thing we thought is like it was the 60s comic book aesthetic. Yeah.
Which is cool.
I will say that my cat is over here. My cat has been meowing at me all night long. What do you want, Aegon? Huh? You bringing your toy? You're a good cat. Come here. Come here. Yeah. See, there you go. He brought his toy with him. So what was I saying? Oh, going to this from X-Men 97 is very jarring because X-Men 97 was such a fluid looking style, like everything sort of flowed, and this is very static. And it's interesting because I don't think of static when I think of Spider-Man. I think of more like lines and shapes, whereas this is more like angular and two-dimensional.
Right.
And I appreciate it. I quite like the way it looks, especially in like when you pause scenes and things like that, because I think all of it kind of flows. But it's not what I would think of immediately when I think of Spider-Man, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. So
what else do we have here? We had some other stuff. I had some other pictures here, but now they have vanished. Okay, well, I'll just continue my thoughts on it. I do like the story, so I like everything we're seeing in terms of characters. It's really interesting about how they did Uncle Ben again, just like in the MCU, where the Uncle Ben element wasn't really part of the hero process for Peter. It also felt very similar, and I think this might have had something to do with the remnants of that MCU connection that they were talking about early on with Norman. That entire portion of the episode felt like a what if version of what happened in the MCU with Tony Stark. And I thought that was fine with me. I like some of the supporting characters we're getting. Amadeus, I completely forgot that he was cast in the show. So when I heard the name drop, I was like, oh, that's we're gonna get some action from him probably. And so that's kind of interesting. The city feels very alive. What do you think about, because I don't think this is too much of a spoiler because it happens at the very beginning of the episode. What do you think about the whole Doctor Strange symbiote spider element of it? What do you think was happening there in that scene?
I don't know. I think it's like, we had heard about this like a couple months ago, and like everyone was freaking out. Oh my gosh, they're like changing the origin story. I'm fine with them changing it because I think like we've had so many of the same exact origin story, and this is a show that's clearly like the whole point is that they're kind of taking the Spider-Man story and shaking it up and like twisting it around and being like, here's a fresh take on this character with new supporting characters and these this very like what if, like okay, what if this happened slightly different? It's definitely very interesting having like a multiverse spider though. Like it feels very in line with like the Spider-Verse stuff, where it's like, oh, someone else's spider bit our Spider-Man. So I'm wondering how much they're going to tie it back into everything, because if they just never talk about it again, that might be a problem for me, where it's like, okay, like this is a whole thing. I know we get Doctor Strange again later this season, so I'm wondering if they address it now, if this is a later down the line thing, if maybe we even, I don't think they'll tie it into Spider-Verse, but maybe if there'll be some kind of connections to a larger Spider-Verse, you know, just as a concept in this show.
I will say it felt to me like the Spider-Verse movies kind of inspired this show.
100%, yeah.
I mean, in every way, aesthetic, the stylizing of the characters, making Peter not so much like a nerd that gets bullied, but more of like a kid that everyone sort of wants to hang around. So yeah, I mean, I felt like it was really good. It was a very fresh take on Spider-Man. I don't like the suit, but I know we're going to get to like a better suit later on. But I didn't really care for the suit. I hope that people check this out, because again, I feel like animation has been so good the last like year and a half. So I really, really hope that people give this a shot. But it puts a lot of pressure on the other animated stuff coming out this year, like Eyes of Wakanda and Marvel Zombies. But I think Marvel Zombies, is that the same animation as What If?
It is, I think, yeah.
Okay. What about Eyes of Wakanda? Do we know if is that a completely different thing?
I don't know. We haven't seen that many shots from it. Let me look it up.
Yeah. I'm just kind of curious.
Because we haven't, I think, have we even seen any photos from it? Or
I think there's like, I think there's been like 1 or 2 promo photos. I think. Let me double check. Let's see.
It looks, it kind of looks similar to What If.
Let's see.
It's very like CG looking.
Okay, there's one picture here I want to share, which is right here. I think this is probably the one you saw too. It does look CG, but it looks a little bit better than the CG we have in What If. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to this one as well, but I think this is only 4 episodes, right?
Yeah.
So it's a very short series. Yeah.
Zombie has more too.
So I kind of like what they're doing in the animation department with like Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and X-Men 97. I want to see more stuff like that. No offense to like the What If stuff, but since What If is done, I prefer if we just move on from that art style and just don't go back to that again. I kind of got used to it, and I think it had its moments, but I think it is a lesser quality art style compared to everything else we've seen, including Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I think Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is still better than What If. Anyway, so I enjoyed the first 2 episodes. I would say that if we're combining them together into one score for me, I would probably put it around an 8. Like an 8 out of 10 for me. And I know if people don't like the art style, they're probably going to lower their score. But me looking at it as a whole package, I think the show has a lot of promise. And I'm looking forward to the next, because I think next week we get 3 episodes, right? Is it next week
Yes.
We get 3 episodes next week. So plus it really felt good, Paigey, and I'm sure you'd agree with this. We got an hour's worth of story this week because we got 2 episodes back to back, and both the episodes were over 20 minutes. So it was like a 45-minute episode basically. So
James Gunn, take notes.
Well, you know what's crazy? Next week we have 3 episodes of Spider-Man and 3 episodes of Invincible. So we have 6 episodes of like animated TV.
Oh yeah, that's true. Did we want to look at the teaser for Invincible? It's a 30-second teaser.
You can. There's not much to talk about in that, but yeah, you can.
Oh, really? It's not? Okay. I do want to look at it though.
You'll see what I mean once we
Oh, okay. All right. Here we go. A sneak peek here.
Unless it's a different one than I saw.
Okay, well this is only 34 seconds, so it's probably really violent, isn't it? Okay. All right, let's see.
that all you got?
Yeah.
Oh my god, they love trolling us. That's so funny.
Yeah, they had
That's
a
funny.
caption. I don't think it's on this one, but like there's a caption that's like, "We're so close, we don't even want to spoil it for you guys, but here's marketing. Here's."
I didn't expect too much spoilers because of the length of it, but that was kind of funny. I'm so looking forward to that. I'm just really excited to see where they're going to go. All right, so the next thing I want to show is a quote from SFX Sex magazine.
Sex.
Yeah. So this was Vincent D'Onofrio was talking about Kingpin. What were you gonna say?
I saw this article. I was like, "That's really funny."
The size he ends up at the end, he'll stay that way. But we're doing some things in season 2 that require his size to be more specific and detailed. So remember when I said that I kind of wish that they would do something to make him look a little bit more imposing? I think that's kind of what he's teasing, is that they're planning on doing that. But I mean, I don't know. I guess they're going to give him the suit that he had in Hawkeye, because I think he wore like a padded suit in Hawkeye, right? And because I don't think he bulked up for that like he did in the Daredevil series.
I'm curious because like we talked about like a couple weeks ago how he looked thinner in this show than he did previously. Do you think we do a time jump? Do you think we jump a couple years? Maybe like maybe this takes place in like 2022 or 23, and then we like time jump to 26 or whatever at the end of the show, and he's a little bigger, you know, because that doesn't happen overnight, right? Like,
yeah.
So
I don't know. Look, do I want him to look like this? Maybe. Vincent D'Onofrio with the little tiny legs, like a massive frame or whatever. I bet you if I did enough digging, I'm not going to do it live on camera here. There's somebody that did like a piece of art with him looking like this. Or you could probably go into like one of the AI programs and be like, make Vincent D'Onofrio look like Kingpin from, Across the Spider-Verse or something like that. I hope they do get this right, though, because I do want to see him sort of bulk up a little bit. And I'm not saying he has to do something with his health, like go out and start doing a regimen for that, but they could always do something either with VFX or, like I said, with like a padded suit or something like that. We did have a super chat here from Naruto, $5 super chat. Getting the ball rolling. Here we go. Paigey, have you seen the Devil May Cry opening credits Netflix just released on YouTube? I watched it and immediately thought of you. Yeah, I did too. We can't play it. It's got a song. It's a copyrighted song. So we can't.
I went and watched it after that because I'd seen people on Twitter talking about it. Like, oh, the Devil May Cry intro. I'm like, oh, okay. But I didn't watch it. And I Googled YouTube and I'm like, it arguably could be the best combination of like early 2000s. When did Devil May Cry come out? Like early 2000s, late 90s?
I think it was early 2000s. I believe so. Yeah.
Of that and Limp fucking Bizkit.
What's funny is
I just in the beginning, and then I had the din come in. I'm like, oh my god!
It's so funny because I just told you that kids forgot about Limp Bizkit, and then immediately Netflix was like, "Oh, we're
bringing it back.
We got you back, Eric." Yeah, definitely. It's like they went into their old CD collection.
Did you play Devil May Cry?
The OG one, yeah.
I know I had Devil May Cry 2. I don't know if I played the first one. I don't think I played any of the other ones. I think they did like a PS4 one. I think I might have played like that when I was on PlayStation Plus or whatever it was.
I only played the very first one and part of the second one. I don't think I played any of the other ones after that. So, speaking of Spider-Man stuff, though, I saw this in Darren. I immediately thought of you because I felt like you might have some opinions about this. Sony's untitled Marvel film set to release this year has been removed from their calendar. Did you see this news?
I did. I mean, I'm curious what it was supposed to be. Like, because I had saw that like on the calendar still, and I was like, listen, like that.
Wouldn't have been that El Muerto.
Oh,
either that makes more sense probably, or there was like a Donald Glover movie. And like in this universe, which never made.
So, are they replacing it with something unrelated to Spider-Man now? Are they going to make a movie, like a cheap movie they can do quickly to get out? Or, I mean,
no,
what are they going to do with that spot?
They just would have removed it off the calendar for the sake of probably other just the industry knowing what's doing.
So is this more of a sign that they're dropping their Spider-Man stuff, or because what are they going to do? They have to do something, right?
I mean, I assume they're going to try and develop different stuff, like something new, something fresh. Obviously, we know this year they have, or seemingly this year is like the Spider-Man Noir series they're making, right? So
yeah,
we'll see. Like again, I'm very curious. Maybe later this year they announce a new. I mean, maybe it's a new Spider-Man movie. They said that they've always been allowed to use them, right? So maybe they announce Miles Morales live action or Spider or something.
What if it's just like a Madam Web, El Muerto, Morbius? Like they go best to the worst, and then they just do like a team up movie, but it's like a parody.
Yeah. So it's like SNL, like a long SNL skit of like all of their
more like maybe like a scary movie. But it's like with the actual actors.
Oh,
like,
you know what? As much as I've shit on Sony about this, if they did like a scary movie version of their Spider-Verse in like one film, I would like get that
game. And they do like a portal scene, and like it opens up, and it's like Michael Keaton's Vulture walks in, or something like that. I was like, hold on, what's going on here? And like every superhero suit on like the arm, like a sports team, has a Pepsi sponsor.
Krispy Kreme. They put the Krispy Kreme.
That's Power Rangers.
I know, but they can still do Krispy Kreme. Add that in there.
If they want to.
Anonymous here with the 199 super chat. Thank you for contributing to the goal. Aaron Paul and Jonathan Banks in season 3. Let's fucking go. Yeah, so I have the article pulled up over here that has the Invincible voice actors. So we have Aaron Paul, Simu Liu, Kate Mara, and 6 more to voice season 3 cast. So Jonathan Banks, Kate Mara. Look who's in it. Look. Do you see this name, everyone? Blue Beetle.
Let's go.
Is in here.
He's moving up the road.
Yeah, I don't recognize any of the others. Is John DiMaggio? Who's he? I don't remember.
He's a famous voice actor.
He's Bender.
He's Futurama, he's Adventure Time.
Oh my god!
And he's a massive voice actor. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, we're talking about like a all-star lineup for season 3, huh?
M&M's. He's the red M&M, I think.
Oh, is he?
I'm pretty sure.
Who was the trans M&M, the one that everyone blew up about? Eric, what color was that?
I don't remember. Which one that was.
The green one.
Maybe. What is that noise?
Sorry, my vibrator went off.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Maybe you should turn that down. So, Jonathan Banks was in Arkham as Gordon. Oh, okay. So I see green and purple. Which one is it? Which M&M is it? Yeah, this looks really good to me. I am totally excited for this. I was excited for Invincible anyway. I mean, this is just more icing on the cake that I was already going to eat. So it's perfectly good with me. I am so happy to see both Cebu and is it Zolo? Is that how you pronounce it? Zolo. To see both of them in something because both YOLO.
Like Sholo?
I think so. Yeah,
to be honest, John DiMaggio looks a bit like you, Eric.
Really?
Yeah.
Why does every white guy with a beard got to be me? I don't understand how we get to that. You might as well say that I look like fucking Aaron Paul at this point. Anyway, so yeah, this is really good.
Yeah, you sort of do.
Of course I do. I wonder if Lance is in the chat. Did you see him like simping for Jonathan Majors? Did you see that?
He loves Jonathan Majors.
He was excited. He's gonna put that poster back up on his wall again.
Yeah. The day before he was simping for Diddy as well.
Was he?
I think he did like I love Diddy and R. Kelly. He was like, wow.
Hold on. No, I don't think he said that. I don't believe you. On that one. Anonymous says, what happened with that vid with Boba? So I tried to reach out to Boba several times and I never heard anything back from him. And then I wrote him and, told him that, hey, look, I hit you up. What happened? It was like 3 weeks after I tried to reach out to him. He did write back to me, but I don't know what's going to happen in terms of like doing a video together. We'll see. But because of that, I should probably just go ahead and release my individual Penguin video. I was kind of waiting. I wanted to talk to him about the Penguin show because he knows a lot more about all of that stuff than I do. And I felt like it would be more interesting for you guys. But I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. So anyway, but this is a win for everybody here. I believe this is pretty good. Let's quickly do this here. Talk about what we're probably going to see at the Super Bowl. We talked a little bit about it the other night, but it seems like we're getting closer and closer, and Variety has now chimed in on what we're expecting to see there. So we have Elio, Smurfs, Novocaine. I don't know what Novocaine is. What is that? Has anybody heard of that? Do you know what that is, you guys?
That's that one with Jack Quaid, isn't it? Where he can't feel pain.
Oh, yeah. Lilo and Stitch expected. Thunderbolts expected.
By the way, have you seen the Jack Quaid and his testing stage? All the studios are hiring him to see if he's can make money
outside of The Boys. Is that what you're saying? Like,
well, no, because like when actors they usually get like that testing stage, and they'll just get hired in like 2 or 3 projects in the space of a year. He's got a movie about to come out with that Sophie Thatcher,
right?
And now he's got Novocaine coming out. So hopefully, for the sake of his
and I said to see if he's got a career outside of The Boys. That's what I said.
Well, yeah, but he's also not the main character. Like a lot of people think Carl Urban when they think, Anthony Starr.
Maybe.
He was really good in Scream, so hopefully he can get more films.
I don't know if anybody is. I mean, we talked about this before. I don't know if anybody is like this super big draw.
Well, it's mainly to see whether they can be the main lead.
Yeah.
And then, like, if someone's consistent, like the Chris Pratt's consistent enough, where they'll do it anyway. Like, he'll always be the lead, pretty much.
I think Chris Pratt has had a combination of luck and other things because he's been exactly. So if you're a star in Hollywood, get a good agent. That's probably the best thing I can tell you because that's how Chris Pratt always ends up.
Talking about the other day, the other week, he was clearly Tom Holland. He must have. I don't know if he fired his agent or Christopher Nolan threw him a bone. One of the two.
That man's crazy.
Did you see who else was cast in that movie? I saw a casting today. And I was like, who was it? I saw
John Leguizamo, what his name?
That's it. Yeah, I was like, what is he gonna do in that movie? Like, I don't think of him as a super serious actor.
Complain about the lack of Latino actors or something. That's
maybe I don't know. I don't see him as a serious actor.
No, I don't think he was canceled.
Okay.
I think everyone just made fun of him because he always complains about like they're not being Latino actors or something in anything. Okay. Like it's like there's a Latino like if he ever makes the headline, it's because of that. He's actually a decent actor, but he's not one of your favorites.
I like him. I think he's good.
What's the Priscilla movie?
To Wong Fu was the name.
To Wong Fu. Yeah, he's in that
one.
He's in the Mario movie, right? Back in the day.
Yeah, he was Luigi.
Yeah, Luigi. Yeah. And then he said Luigi was a Latino. It's like they're fucking Italian. What do you want?
Well, the other thing is that that was back during the era when he was in a lot of different stuff. He was one of those like actors that had a golden era,
and he was also like a bit like racially ambiguous as well. Like he could play like different things.
Yeah. But seeing him cast in that, I was like, what? So Jurassic World, How to Train Your Dragon, and Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. Is this list look like? I mean, do we agree that this is probably what we're going to see? I feel like most of these.
It's a large list. Sure. I feel like we normally don't get this many. Yeah.
Also, like a movie like, I mean, the only one that maybe like might. It just I don't know who's making that Novocaine movie because that Super Bowl ads. They're fucking expensive. So like, unless it's in a cheaper part of the thing, I just thought that movie wasn't a big movie.
Do you notice what movie's missing from this lineup that probably should be there?
Captain America.
Well, no,
Superman.
Superman.
Oh yeah.
I think Superman should be here.
I think it's actually smart for them not to be because they'll just get caught up in the swamp here. But they're doing that Puppy Bowl, which is is it the day before or is it earlier in the day? I can't remember.
I have no idea. I don't keep up with the Puppy Bowl. You're asking the wrong person.
Following day or something.
I don't. Yeah, it's either like it's around. That's obviously. I don't know if it's earlier in that day or the day before or something. It's the same day apparently. Okay, so they're doing that. So
I mean, I guess he's trying to do the connection with crypto. Like he's going to advertise it with probably a crypto-centric trailer. It's probably going to be a trailer with a lot of crypto in it for the Puppy Bowl.
Well, apparently it's like, I think it's not even going to be a trailer. They said sneak peek. I think it might just be a scene.
But it's going to be crypto-centric, clearly.
It'll be crypto-centric, yeah. So
it would be really stupid stupid for him to debut that teaser at the Puppy Bowl and not make it a crypto scene.
So I think it's either
really
a new thing from maybe like it's in Metropolis or something, or it's just the extended version of that bit where he drags the cape.
It's February 9th is the Super Bowl. Or the people, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the same day as the Super Bowl, yeah.
Okay, so we are getting it that same day.
Yeah, actually, are we ignoring the elephant in the room?
What?
Look, we've talked about it before, but James Gunn is clearly scared of the Smurfs. He doesn't want to put Superman and advertise it anywhere near the Smurfs. He's nervous.
Is he Gargamel? Is that what it is? He's afraid of the Smurfs?
I don't know. He's just nervous.
James Gargamel.
Smurfs. He's like Rihanna's Smurfette. God, what's going
on? I'm still worried about Superman and the way it's positioned. I want it to be good enough that none of that matters. That it's so good that the word of mouth gets people to come out and continue to see it. But if this Fantastic Four trailer even teases Doom's glove or something in it, it is game over for. I'm sorry, it's game over for Superman at that point.
I mean, we'll wait and see. Like, I think this will, because you got Jurassic World and Superman and Smurfs. If we're like legitimately chucking that in, which that'll be the big test.
Rihanna, right? As like Smurf.
Rihanna, like, I don't know. Yeah. Are they gonna have? I don't know. Is Smurf? I know. She's just gonna.
Okay, so all right, look.
It's a musical, yeah.
Is it a musical?
It is.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, well, it doesn't really though. Let me tell you why. Rihanna.
Smurfs.
Yes, not. It doesn't. Okay. It makes sense for Smurfs to have a musical. I'm saying Rihanna playing Smurfette. I don't see it in my mind. It doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't compute unless they're changing Smurfette completely. Like, Rihanna doesn't give me Smurfette vibes. Like, there's a lot of other people I can see.
Smurfette recent, like in the last one.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Rihanna has a swag to her that I don't know that Smurfette has. It's like a vocal style. Like, Rihanna is recognizable. Like, her voice is extremely recognizable. Her singing voice is recognizable. I'm sure she's going to do a great job, but is it just going to be regular Smurfette, or are they going to like change her a little bit?
It's great. Yeah. I mean, I think a movie like this is always so tough because it, like, you definitely are hiring the actors first and then the characters. So like, okay, we have James Corden, throw him something. Rihanna, okay, give her a Smurfette or whatever. So, like, I think it's gonna be very Trolls, where it's like actor first, character second.
Yeah. I feel like Smurfette needs a little more like swag if Rihanna's gonna be voicing her. That's all. I mean, she's very like pretty girl Smurf, and I just don't see that for Rihanna. Honestly.
I mean, you can always rebrand Smurfette a little bit, right? Like,
well, that's what I'm hoping is that they do like change her up a little bit, not completely, but a little bit for the role.
Well, they kind of did that back in like 2015. Like they kind of like girl boss fighter, if you will, just to make her like more like independent and stuff like that.
Smurfette gone woke.
Well, speaking of the Puppy Bowl, have you guys heard of the Dogman movie? Have you seen the trailer for this and stuff? You're going to see it?
Tomorrow,
okay. Yeah. You have to let me know how it is. But this is the popcorn bucket for the movie.
I mean, at least it's usable. Like, you might look like one of those like one of those, like, it's not a furry. What's the one where like people like wear like a leash and stuff like that? Fucking.
I mean, I don't know what the name of that is, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like. I mean, like the fetish thing. Like, I'm sure they'll be into this one.
Yeah.
But at least it's usable. I mean, it looks like you don't get much popcorn though. But
I would say this would be really cute if you have a pet. If you have like a dog or a cat and you wanted to like use it for them after you were done at the movie theater, yeah, I could see that. But I thought it was interesting because out of all the things you could make this, like, they could have done anything with this. They decided to make it like a pet bowl. I was like, okay. This is like a really smart thing. I'm hoping that it's a little bit deeper than a normal pet bowl, because otherwise you're getting like completely scammed on.
You're getting like a handful of popcorn in that thing.
Pretty much. So
can we just like, I know you don't like going backwards, but can we go to the back slide just for a second? I want to like look at those films for a second again.
Oh yeah, hold on.
What I think is interesting is like we've been talking a lot about what will win most at the box office and stuff like that.
Yeah,
we are like on the same day, we're getting 3 out of the 4 of those July movies, like with their first trailers, right? So we're finally going to get Fantastic Four, Smurfs, and Jurassic World for the first time. That's when the marketing game is officially going to start, right?
Right.
Super Bowl is when, like, okay, now we've all seen the trailers. We all have kind of because everyone's like, oh yeah, we're most excited for Superman. It's like, yeah, but you haven't seen a Jurassic World trailer yet. You haven't seen a Fantastic Four trailer yet. You haven't seen a Smurfs trailer yet. All those kind of things. So that, I think, is going to be interesting. And again, I think, like, it's crazy the marketing starts for, like, Fantastic Four this week, because it's like
also it's going to be interesting to see how they shuffle around anticipated movies after the trailers drop, like when they redo their list of, like, top 10 most anticipated movies, because I have a feeling that some of the bigger movies are going to get reshuffled once we see the trailers.
Yep.
We're gonna have a lot to talk about that week, because I think Super Bowl is on a Sunday, isn't it? Is it a Sunday? Is the 9th a Sunday? I think it is. So let's see here. Yeah. So on the Monday stream, we'll have, like, so much to talk about.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for Jurassic World to get that trailer, because that, for me, that trailer has to hit home, because I have not liked any of the previous Jurassic Worlds. Actually, I have not liked a Jurassic Park movie since the first one had come out. Like, I think they just miss after miss. And, like, the way they've described this one sounds exciting. I love the idea of a, like, smaller Jurassic World movie again, something more intimate to, like, a dinosaur v people, to something smaller. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting for sure.
Yeah, see, like, I'm not joking when I say I don't watch sports. I really don't. So I don't even think about that, honestly. Ethan says Dogman is like Harry Potter for young kids. Oh, okay.
Interesting.
I didn't know that. So, 3Dub says he saw it today. It's a fun movie. I guess he's talking about Dogman.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. So let's see. What do we got next here on the list? Oh, I thought I'd pull this up just to get people's general thoughts on this, because we haven't heard anything new about it. Authority animated film. Does this movie even get made at this point? I know we get the Engineer and Superman. Do you think they're going to actually go through with, like, an Authority, like a proper Authority story, or are we just going to get these characters spread out over different films?
I don't think it's, like, a bad idea to, like, at least postpone it for a couple years, because, again, like, in terms of, like, what are you willing to bet that makes most money, Authorities is not very high on that list. Like, I cannot. I'm not saying it won't make money. Some things get very shocked. Like if it comes out and it's amazing and people, like, word of mouth, it could do well. But I think it's a really hard movie to pitch. I don't hate the idea of it being animated. Maybe even a streaming movie, or like a streaming animated show or something along those lines. I don't know though, because we haven't heard, like, anything. Like, I feel like things like Brave and the Bold, Swamp Thing, we've at least heard, like, oh, we have a director, or we have whatever. We've heard nothing. Like, they announced this, and that's been it, outside of, like, casting for Superman. So
right. What about you, Paigey? I know you've talked a little bit about your thoughts on the Authority. Do you think we're actually going to get this, or is this not going to happen?
I don't know. It's probably one of those ones where it maybe relies on how well Superman does. Also, like, Superman has to set, like, a benchmark, I think, in regards to what they're happy with a certain. I mean, if they do this movie, it's not going to be cheap. It's probably going to be around the cost of a Superman film.
Yeah.
I mean, it came out today where apparently Superman's budget is $180 million.
Right.
Not bad.
And, like, I mean, like, surely the Authority have to be around the same thing as well. So, I don't know. Like, if Superman only makes, like, 700, and I think that's still decent for the movie, at least in regards to the starting point, but, like, you need probably at least 500 to make it worth doing Authority at that same budget.
Yeah. So, well, Anthony says that 180 million budget is not true. Was it debunked by James Gunn?
Well, it came from the Hollywood Reporter.
He said the person made it up.
Did they?
Let me double check.
Hollywood?
I don't know. That's what I saw. I saw, like, one of those, like, DC accounts do it.
See.
Then again, they might have seen, like, they probably copied the same thing. They probably saw it from someone else and just went, "Oh, I'll repost that." But I mean, the Authority. I mean, like,
oh god, Comic Book Cast 2 said it was a $350 million Superman film. That's not true.
Definitely not. Yeah, I know. I think it makes you think that the most likely chance is if it is animated. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's the right way to go. I think you'd be better off just scrapping it at that point.
Okay, so it says here the budget number has not been reported by the Hollywood Reporter. There's no link source. They say it is.
Oh, it was sorry, it was Cosmic Book News.
Oh
they
god.
used one of those, yeah.
Oh god. All right. We have here Benedict Cumberbatch says, I was wrong. I am in the next one. Don't ever believe anything I say. I want to, like, from this point on, and I'll probably never bring it up on any of my podcasts again unless it's something major. When Marvel actors talk about being in something or not being in something, just ignore it completely.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to tell you unless it's already been announced by Marvel. They're not going to say anything. Besides that, I do believe that the way they film their projects, he might have been filming stuff for that movie and getting a check for it, but not having any idea that it was going to be in the movie. Like, it could have been 10 minutes of footage that's going to be taken that'll be used in Doomsday instead of, Secret Wars. He doesn't know. So, because I think this is going to be filming the same way Infinity War and Endgame film, which is like back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, look, Short Car says, I imagine his agent told him one thing and someone at Marvel told him another. I just think it's probably one of those things where he's just, he doesn't understand all the ins and outs of all that stuff. So
it's gonna be so funny Tom Holland's year next year of like Spider-Man 4, Doomsday, Secret Wars, and the Odyssey. Like, he's gonna have to do all of those. And
I didn't think about that. All right, so I saw some drama today on Twitter. Let's talk about this, and then we will. Let's see. We'll do. We'll either talk fan casting or we'll start the ranking, one or the other. But I saw this drama today, and it's so stupid because it's not even a real toy, which is why I was like, "Why are we making tweets like this?" So this person says, "You're shopping for your kid's favorite superhero. These are side by side. Which Superman toy are you choosing?" It's not an official toy.
Dog.
Yeah, a kid would pick this one every time, opposed to this one.
That's a 2-for-1 toy. I am picking the.
Isn't that a one? Isn't the one on the right like a hot toy?
Yes.
Yeah.
So a kid wouldn't even be buying this one anyway because it's a collector thing. It's not even a toy you play with. But this is a fan made. Somebody made this themselves, and I can tell you right now, the bright colors, the pet with them, and everything. A kid's gonna want this toy. Yeah, so what a dumb question.
The thing is that everything else looks fine, but it just highlights. Fuck these lines on the suit. It's the thing that makes this suit look bad.
Do you think that's lines. Gonna? Okay, so honest question: do you think the lines stay there beyond this movie, or do you think they go away?
I mean, well, yeah, I mean, because money, so they'll make a new suit 100%.
No, but I mean, like, to me, this is, and I'm not using this as like a negative. This looks like an MCU suit on Superman. That's what it looks like to me. And that's not a negative. I love some of the MCU suits, but this looks like the MCU-ification of Superman's suit. So I just don't know if they're going to continue to have it look this way beyond the film, or if they're going to tone back on the line texture and make it more like a classic suit over time. Like, do you ever think we'll get a classic suit?
I'd like to think so, but then again, like, this is clearly the the emblem, so it's not going to be the classic emblem, but you'd like to think that there will just be a very.
Well, I don't necessarily mean like classic, suit. like the emblem. I mean just the overall look of the suit.
I'd like to think so, yes, but at the same time, who knows?
The Head Ninja says, "Oh my God, we get it. Man of Steel stuck to a lot of people. Can we stop beating that dead horse?" I don't think that the Snyder fans are ever going to go away. They really just they don't want to like anything. They want to be angry about all the stuff that's coming out. But I like this. I would buy this toy, honestly. So, all right. So now, let me drop this down. All right, quick chat here with you guys. So we are at 2 out of 10 super chats, and we have 2 hours left. If you guys would like to get one of these options on the poll done, you can donate through super chats. I do appreciate it. It's any tier. So any bit that you want to drop in, you can. Should we do our fan casting? Because I'm not sure what Darren came prepared to do before he has to go, because I know he doesn't have a lot of time left. Should we do the fan casting, or should we start ranking some shows? What would you guys like to do?
I should say I didn't put together any fan casting.
Okay. Okay. So we'll do the fan casting afterwards. I'd like to get Darren's opinion on some shows before he has to go. So here we go.
Opinions on shows.
All right. Now, again, we're not doing each season. So I will only drag up one of each season of a show to put into a ranking or whatever. So let's start out. Where should we start, Paige? Should we go with like more of the Netflix shows? Should we go with like the Fox shows, the Disney Plus shows?
Inhumans.
Okay, next one.
Not even a conversation.
I mean, there's no question it's a bad show. Look, Inhumans is probably the worst thing that Marvel's ever done in TV. Only because, and there's only one reason, is because they tried to do it so cheap, and the showrunner he cut corners in the wrong places. You have Medusa on the cover art with her long red hair, which is like her trademark, and then she loses it in the first episode and doesn't have it for the rest of the season. That alone makes the show suck, in my opinion.
I don't think I ever finished it. I think I dropped it.
I don't think I finished it. I think I got like 4 episodes into it. I think my last episode I might have watched was when they started doing like the Hawaii beach.
Oh god, that's the worst episode of the whole
show. Yeah.
All right, let's jump over and do let's do Runaways. All right. So Runaways, I know there's the 3 seasons listed, but again, we're only going to do one. So this is the whole show, all 3 seasons. I enjoyed Runaways a lot. I think it's an underrated show in the Marvel landscape. I think there was some missed potential in the series, but I enjoyed it. So for me, I would probably put it in the good to very good area. But I'm more leaning towards good, because I think it was just a really good show. Yeah. But I don't think it was like very good, or definitely not excellent. Above regular, in my opinion. Did you guys watch it at all?
I watched the first season, I think. I think I finished the first season. Thought it was okay.
Yeah, I did the first season and a half. I loved season 1. I thought season 1 was such like a breath of fresh air. Like I thought it was such a fun like coming of age Marvel thing. And I think with Spider-Man having just come on, having Nico in that show, it's kind of made me want to go back and like revisit this show.
It's a really good 3-season show, I think. So I'm gonna leave it there. All right, let's do Agent Carter.
Agent Fodder.
Love Agent Carter.
I think Agent Carter for me is again in between good and very good. I wouldn't put it at excellent only because it did not finish its story. And I feel like to me that's a big detriment to the show. I know it's not their fault, but there was a lot of like that second season had a really interesting cliffhanger that we never got an answer to.
What was the cliffhanger?
It has to do with like setting up some of the people with powers in the Marvel universe. It was so ambiguous, we didn't really get a proper explanation of what was coming next.
Yeah, I only watched the first season, but it was really pretty solid, the first season.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I love, just today, I rewatched Captain America, the First Avenger for a thing on my channel. I love this whole era of Marvel. Like, I love this, the Captain America, the Peggy Carter. And it's so fun. Like, I think out of all the superhero shows I've seen get canceled, I think Peggy Carter is the most frustrating because they're building up this idea of like them creating S.H.I.E.L.D. It's this like very long-winded like build up to that. I think that's very fascinating, and I think we really never explore this era of Marvel again. I guess outside of What If recently, but it's so much fun, and I think it has such a good like aesthetic. These characters are really, really good. So much so one ends up going to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in this final season, which ended up being one of my favorite characters on that show. So I love Carter.
So I would probably put it, like I said, between high good or low to mid very good. Paigey, did you watch it at all or no?
Agent Carter.
Yeah.
The first season.
Did you like it or not like it?
Pretty solid.
I think I want to put it in very good. Like I said, the only detriment is the way it ends, and I don't really know any way to get around that. I just think the cliffhanger kind of ruins that for me. All right, so let's go to the Fox shows, and we're gonna do Gifted.
Yeah.
Gifted season 1 I really enjoyed. Gifted season 2 I did not enjoy.
Yeah.
So for me, it's going to be good probably because it's 50-50. So it's right smack in the middle.
What's wrong with season 2?
It goes off the rails. Like all the stories become bigger. Like the first season really is this almost personal stories in the world with mutants. And then in the second season, it's like we start getting into stuff that's like deep X-Men lore that goes so far beyond the premise of what the Gifted was that I just don't know what the fuck happened.
Man, that first season though is probably some of my favorite comic book television of all time. Like, I can't believe no one else had thought of doing that before. It's like the X-Men from the perspective of the humans and how it affects the mutants is so good. Just the fear of a parent getting their child getting taken away is so good. So brilliant.
And since this world only has mutants as their heroes or whatever, it does sort of make more sense because the discrimination seems more obvious than it would in a world where you have other superheroes flying around and things like that. So, and
this show also had a very big cliffhanger that would have tied into the movie stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Just like all like the Days of Future Past stuff. It's like, no, you were so close.
How about Legion? What do we think about Legion? Paige, did you watch Legion?
Did I finish season 1? I'm trying to remember. I know I started it when it was on. I think I was watching it week to week. I don't know if I finished season 1.
I think this is the only X-Men show I haven't seen. Outside of the anime, I guess.
Right. Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is one of the best shows that they've ever done in terms of like a full show. Yeah. So I'm going to put it in the excellent category, and let me explain why. There's no major cliffhanger. It tells a full story from beginning to end. It's not going to be for everybody because it's almost an erratic type of show in terms of like where everything goes. But I feel like it's probably one of the best full stories in a Marvel TV show because it does have a beginning, middle, and end. And it leaves you sort of feeling hopeful about the future of the character. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. So I'm going to put it in excellent, but it's not going to be for everybody. Did anybody watch Hellstrom?
I don't think anyone on this planet Earth watched Hellstrom.
I have a friend that watched it, and like,
it's gonna go right down here in the section.
He watches all the Marvel stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, it's not very good."
Yeah, so it's not even regular for me. And let me explain why. It was so far away from what these characters are in the comics that if this would have been the universe they were building to sort of semi-connect with like the Ghost Rider stuff and everything, it would have been very sad, to be honest. It's not as bad as Inhumans, but it is still at the bottom of the barrel. Mm-hmm. It just wasn't good for me. I would never watch it again, ever. And I wouldn't recommend anybody. If you haven't seen it, there's no point in watching it. There's just nothing there.
Yeah, my friend was talking to me about it the other day, and I thought it was very interesting how they were actively trying to separate themselves from Marvel, trying to like disassociate itself from the brand, being like, nope, doesn't have to have the Marvel logo on it. It does whatever. We're not connected to Marvel at all. We're just we're just a regular TV show, which kind of interesting.
Well, because also you in a show with such a niche type of story, you don't want to separate from the larger IP. That seems like such a dumb thing to do. All right, let's go down to a show that I think it's probably no surprise where I'm going to put it, but Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for me is an excellent. I just, besides the slowness of season 1 and the sort of wonkiness of the last 2 seasons because of the way they had to split them up, I think some of the best Marvel stories exist on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show. For the same reason I would argue the Arrowverse did some of the best DC stories. You have more time with the characters. It gives you a lot more moments with the story, so you don't feel like everything is being rushed through. They did the different chapters where you get like 5 episodes dedicated to this story, 4 episodes dedicated to this story, 6 episodes dedicated to this story. So everything is broken up in that way, but there's one story that carries through all of those different chapters. So for me, I personally have no problem putting that in the excellent category, unless somebody wants to argue that it belongs lower. Because I know, Darren, you watched it as well. So
it's one of my favorite shows of all time. I adore it. I would argue that the peak of S.H.I.E.L.D. is better than the entire MCU. Like, I don't think there's anything in like the main timeline that competes to like season 4. Like, I think that's like peak Marvel for me.
Mm-hmm. Well, seasons 4 and 5 are
excellent. Oh my god, yeah. And there's not a bad season. They're like I think 6 is the weakest, obviously.
Yes.
But like season 6 is still better than like a lot of modern.
I think the issue was they thought the show was going to be ending, and they had to like come up with a way to keep the story going, and it was like that was the big problem. But you know, I thought it was solid. Paige, did you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at all or no?
I watched it. I dropped off on it though when they did that AI robot story.
Oh my god, that's one of the best stories.
That's what I was just talking about. It's like I think it's better than the MCU.
LMD storyline was so good. It was so much better than the Secret Invasion shit.
Yeah, but then I think I picked it up the following season after that. I just sort of skipped and just got a recap of what happened.
I just realized I did not put Secret Invasion in this list. Let me do that now.
It's down there. No, it's the picture.
Oh, is it?
It's on there, yeah.
I saw it.
Okay, I see it. All right. I was going to say, I forgot. I always thought I forgot to put it in here. All right.
I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has arguably one of the biggest plot twist reveals in that Winter Soldier thing. Like, that's... I remember that happened because there's no real hint at it. It just happens, but it also makes sense considering the character. There's no major hint to it. And I think early on, I think they did a really good job intertwining it, at least specifically with the Avengers movies, which probably helps because Joss Whedon's brother was the showrunner. So he was able to work with the connections there and stuff like that. But
I mean, it makes you wonder which one is the most talented because his brother did an amazing job with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
I mean, they should have put him in charge of a movie or something, I feel like. All right. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and talk about, all right, I'm going to put this in a different spot. And I know Darren's going to completely disagree with me on this one, but I have to put it here. Cloak and Dagger for me is in the regular spot. I just don't like it that much. No offense. I'm not saying the show is bad, obviously, but I did not enjoy the show. It wasn't for me at all.
The poster looks like the documentary to like a serial killer.
I mean, the show's kind of dark sometimes. So I mean, yeah. What would you say, Darren? Like, if you were ranking, I'm just curious where you would put this out on the list if you were doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I was really bad about these Marvel shows because I started almost all of them, and very few I finished. And like, it was one of those situations. I loved season 1. I thought season 1 was fantastic. And I never finished season 2, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But like that first season, I'd say it's like very good. Like,
they're
really.
Oh, you put it very good, so you put it above good.
Yeah,
you put it very good. Yeah, it wasn't for me. That's all.
It's very like coming of age, and like if that's not your style, that's fair. That's valid.
And and I think some other coming of age stories resonate with me. This one just didn't, and I don't know why. Because it does take off a lot of the boxes of stuff that I would normally watch.
Sure.
I just guess I wanted Cloak and Dagger in the comics is so vastly different from the TV show, and I wanted more of that, but they weren't giving me that. So I guess that's probably what it was. I was looking something along those lines.
Do you like the casting wise? Just like
I think the casting was good. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of negatives about anything. I think the storytelling was good. I think the pacing was good. I think the characterization was good. It's just the overall vibe of the show. I just didn't like the vibe of the show.
I think Cloak and Dagger, and again, I didn't finish that second season, but I think they're characters you could very easily bring those actors back and kind of do like a soft reboot of that show. Just introduce them in their own right as like, okay, these are new characters.
Right.
Bring those actors, because I think those actors are fantastic, like inside those roles.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Where are we going from here? Let's do what do we have left from that? I think we're done with all the little alt like universe stuff. So we're in the Netflix stuff and the Disney stuff, except for Netflix stuff and Disney stuff. Okay. So let's go with a show that's going to shoot right up to excellent, which is Daredevil. I loved all 3 seasons. I think that it had some weak points, but overall, I think the show as a full show is great to watch from beginning to end. Especially now that we know we're getting a continuation of that in season 4. So I would put Daredevil in excellent. I feel like it's one of the best Marvel shows of all time. Any thoughts on this?
Nope. I think, and I'm currently like rewatching all like this whole era of Marvel, and I'm watching a lot for like the first time, so I won't have a lot to say on some of these, but I think season 1 is S tier. I just finished season 1. I think it's fantastic. I think season 2 is like an A. Like I think people overestimate how bad it is, because it's not bad at all. It's just like not season 1 and 3, and then again season 3 is also like S. It's like SAS. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Paigey, your thoughts on Daredevil? Would you put that up at the top, or is it just very?
I mean, it's hard not to. Like, I think season 2, it's not. Yeah, like I probably say people shit on it a lot more than it actually. Like, it's definitely a drop from season 1, and season 3 goes back up after season 2.
Yeah.
I think it's just because they're trying to do so much in season 2. Like, they were dealing with there's like a lot of bouncing around, and
also I think season 2 of Daredevil is when they started to set up all the other shows, right? Wasn't that when like the other shows started to come out? Was after around season 2 of Daredevil?
It was when they were leading into the Defenders, wasn't it?
Right, yeah. All right, so let's do Punisher next. Punisher for me lingers between good and very good, only because season 2 is not great.
No.
What?
It's between good and regular. There's no way it even gets close to very good.
I thought season 1 was really good. I thought season 1 was very good.
Season 1 is good, but season 2 is arse.
It is, which is why I said it's lingering for me in the middle.
Also, season, to be fair, like season 1 is like, it sort of like just retreads a lot of the points from season 2 of Daredevil. So you're only getting really like half a show. But season 1's good. But
so wait. So you're saying for you it would be between good and regular?
If you put it regular, I wouldn't complain. I think regular is probably the place for it to go.
Darren, did you watch Punisher at all?
Nope.
Okay. The chat is saying very good and very good, and 3Dub says excellent. So
do you think that 3Dub just give Dogman 9 out of 10 or something?
Yeah, something like that. Do you think the chat is like on some kind of hard drugs or something? I
don't know, like something. I don't know, Red 40.
Look, Harris says very good. First season puts it very good for me. So
I've heard great stuff. I've heard people like say it's like one of the best of this era of TV.
Are they edgelords though? They might be edgelords.
I'm going to leave Punisher at good. That's where I was going to leave it, because it's like half and half for me. One season I really like, one season I didn't like, so I'm going to leave it right in the middle.
I'm fine with you putting it in good. I'm fine with you putting it in.
All right. Jessica Jones for me is in very good.
Yeah,
I love Jessica Jones.
Yeah, season 1, season 2, like they sort of lose what they lose their marbles. They had no idea what to do with that show, but they still made it work somehow. But
I will still say that Jessica Jones has one of the best scores of all of the Marvel shows.
Yeah.
The background music in Jessica Jones matches the vibe of the show 100%. And that doesn't happen all the time. A lot of times with these shows, and I've complained about this before, it happens a lot on the Arrowverse shows, but more so in the young adult shows. It's like you see somebody, like they'll walk into a room and somebody's crying. It's like, she's crying. And then they'll stand up. She stands up. And it's like the song is like dictating what's happening in the scene, and I hate when they do that. So I appreciate Jessica Jones because the score pretty much matches the vibe of the show without having to literally say what's happening in the scenes. So for me, Jessica Jones as a series falls into very good. I'd love for her to come back, but I feel like her story leaves, I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but her story leaves her in a way where if she never came back, it would make sense within the MCU. So
yeah, I mean, I'm trying to rewatch all these shows like in preparation for Born Again. It's gonna take a while, so I'm not sure if I'll get caught up. But I'm currently on Jessica Jones season 1, and like I had seen this one season previously. It's fantastic. Honestly, I think you can make the argument Jessica Jones is one of, if not the greatest season of comic book television of all time.
The first season,
like that first season, I think maybe is top 5.
Look, I will say this again: Purple Man to me. If he was a person that had higher ambitions, if he didn't want to just troll Jessica Jones, he could have controlled the entire world, maybe even the universe.
Yeah.
His power was OP. David
Tennant as that role is fantastic. And I just finished his era of Doctor Who. So it's very weird going from like such this wholesome, great character to like just psychopathically evil.
Right? Yeah.
It's so crazy.
But could you imagine if he just told Thanos, "You're going to do what I want you to do"? That's it.
Go home, Thanos.
Yeah. So he's so powerful. It's crazy. He needed to set his sights higher. He just wanted to fuck with Jessica. He should have set his sights higher there. Let's see, where are we at in the tip thing? We are only 2 out of 10 still. We have an hour and a half. Come on, you guys, we can do it. If you want that 5-hour stream, I see that's winning. If you want to do that, any tip counts. Any super chat counts. All right. Let's get back to the list here. And let's stay on the Netflix era and do Luke Cage. So I would say for me, Luke Cage is another show where the first season was pretty much an excellent season of television. And the second season is just good. So for me, I feel like there's a drop off a little bit, but I still think the whole story is solid. And I would love to see where the character goes. So I'm okay with leaving it in good, but I could, if people wanted to twist my arm, I could put it in very good, but I think it's just a really good show. Chat, what do you think? Luke Cage, good, very good, excellent. Tell me what you think. And then Darren, have you seen Luke Cage at all?
Like 3 episodes, but I'll watch it again here shortly. Just on my rewatch up or my watch through all these shows.
All right. Paige, did you watch both seasons of Luke Cage or just one?
I think I finished season 2. I think I did. Or at least I got a good way through it, but it wasn't great. So that might have been why I didn't finish it if I didn't. I don't know. It's probably like maybe like high good. I don't know if it'd creep into very good. I don't know if even if the first, second season is excellent. I think this first season is probably very good. But that second season isn't great. So
okay. I'm good with leaving it in good, honestly. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the show that everyone loves. Where's it at? Right here. Iron Fist. Boop. It's put right there in the bad category.
You know what I'm really surprised by, Eric?
What?
That you didn't just rename Bad into Scott Buck.
Oh, yeah. That's true. 2 of the 3 are Scott Buck.
Did you like season 2 of it?
Yes, I did.
A lot of people liked it.
Yeah, I did like season 2, but the problem is, even if I were to take into account how much I like season 2, the first season is so horrendously bad that I don't think there's any way you could sit and like, I don't even know if people would get to season 2 by watching season 1. It really is that bad, in my opinion.
Wow.
And I honestly I was in cope stages when I was watching that because all the shows had been so good. And that one came out. And I remember talking to my brother and some of my friends about it. And I was like, oh, it wasn't bad. It wasn't that bad. And then I went back and watched it. And I was like, oh, no, it's actually really bad. It's really bad. So for me, I can't even put it in regular. But I will say this. For me, the second season, the side story, everything outside of Danny that deals with Colleen and, you know, that whole storyline with the Daughters of the Dragon stuff. All of that sets up a really good story for another season that we did not get. So what season 2 did is it laid down the groundwork for what could have been a really excellent season 3. and we'd be having a different conversation right now. But we never got a season 3. So for me, it's still in the bad category. I just can't bring myself to put it up any higher because the first season is arguably the next worst thing to Inhumans. I think Hellstrom is better than both of those shows, and that's in the same category. Honestly, does anybody want to twist my arm and argue otherwise? Or
I haven't seen any of it, so I can't speak.
So Bombast here says Danny Rand was more like himself in one episode of Luke Cage than 2 seasons of his own show in Defenders. Yes, but I will argue he was still better in Defenders. I think Danny was better in Defenders and much better in Luke Cage, which is why I think a Heroes for Hire show was the next logical conclusion for those two characters.
I have a question, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
You're in McDonald's. You're ordering your large Big Mac meal with a side of 10 nuggets. I don't know what you get. You look across and you see Scott Buck there.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say to him?
I hopefully don't ever direct anything for Marvel ever again or DC. I mean, that would be my first thing.
Remind me what he did again.
Inhumans and Iron Fist. He was the showrunner for both of those shows. He's also known for doing just bad stuff. Let me see what else he's done. Hold on, Scott. He's done other bad things, and let's see, Scott Buck, showrunner. All right. He's not sure. Did he delete all of his social media stuff? Let's see.
He did Dexter, and that finished bad.
Oh.
Then but he got a lot of clap from earlier on, and I think that led to him. He did Dexter, and he was a part of 6 Feet Under, as well.
The season 6 of Dexter was the one he did.
He did Rome. Executive producer.
Yeah, and Mad Men, but that was writing. It looks like writing credits on that. 6 Feet Under was the one that kind of gave him a beginning. Which maybe he's one of those people that can write that kind of stuff, but he doesn't write good superhero stuff, which is fine, I guess. But the last thing that he did was Inhumans. He's not had another gig doing anything since that. So
that's good.
No, Iron Fist. Iron Fist was after Inhumans.
Whichever one of those it was, he hasn't done anything since that. So
Iron Fist and Inhumans came out the same year, 2017, the year of the buck.
Maybe we should pair him up for Secret Wars. Maybe that'd be good.
Eric, all right. You need to make a video
mm-hmm.
after this stream and schedule upload it for 2027. 10 years since the worst year of my life, and it's in 2027. Oh, no. 10 years after the release of Inhumans and Iron Fist season 1.
That was pretty bad. Yeah,
it can be a car review.
You know what I should? No, I should go back and look at my actual videos from that era and do a super cut of my reactions to all of it. It would be. Really
you know, what would have been funny though, a car review of you driving back from the IMAX screening of the first 2 episodes of Inhumans. You just sitting in silence and just start crying, tearing up.
I don't know. All right, so we have wrapping up the Netflix shows. We have the Defenders crossover series. Mm-hmm. Look, I want to say that this was probably one of my most anticipated things. When I heard this was happening, I was so excited because I knew which characters are going to be on the show, and I thought we were going to get an Avengers type series on Netflix dealing with supernatural elements with these characters facing off against them. And there are bits and pieces of that sprinkled in this show, but it almost feels like it was too ambitious and they didn't stick the landing. So for me, there are elements of Defenders that are good. For example, I think Daredevil is it's season 2.5 of Daredevil.
Yeah.
Because it does cover a lot of that. And the stuff with Danny and Luke are really good. But for me, it's just going to go into the regular section. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just in the middle for me. And I will watch it after I'm done with season 2 of Daredevil. We will watch the Defender show to get ready for season 4 of Daredevil, but it really is just regular for me. That's pretty much it. There's really not a lot else to say about it.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Thoughts and opinions?
I like it for the most part. Like I watched it. Like that was a kind of a weird experience for me because I had seen Daredevil one season of Jessica Jones and then that. So like there was a lot of missing pieces for me. I didn't know Luke or Danny and stuff like that yet. I still think it's pretty good. I think it's good. I think it's very messy though. It's kind of very all over the place. The plot goes all over, but there is just a coolness to like the Defenders on screen, all these characters crossing over, and I do think they should do a new show. I think they need. Again, I don't know what their plan is for this new, like bringing Daredevil back. I don't know if Jessica Jones is coming back or Luke, all these things. But I do think there should be. I would honestly just do a show where you just bring all those characters back in that show, and then you don't have to like reboot all the different shows. Like just do it all in one place. But yeah, no.
Let me see. I'm trying to get this in order here. Do we get all the ones up here? These are all the other seasons, so I think we're done with all of those. All right, so now we're at WandaVision. I'm gonna actually go out on a limb here and say for me, WandaVision is an excellent. I love WandaVision, and I know that's probably controversial because there is a lot of criticism of it. But for me, I've always said that if I enjoy something enough to overlook issues with it, then I'm okay with that. And for WandaVision, I feel like all of my criticisms of WandaVision would be so tiny that my overall enjoyment of the show would put it in excellent for me. I could see an argument for very good, but for me, it doesn't. Those are the only two spaces for it. Is excellent or very good. I don't think it belongs anywhere outside of that. Any sort of thoughts from you guys?
I actually don't know if there's ever been a more like. I think like that era of watching that show was some of the most hype I've ever felt for Marvel because that was like during COVID. There was almost like a whole year and a half without any Marvel content whatsoever. That week-to-week mystery of trying to unsolve everything. Some of the most hyped I've ever been as a Marvel fan. Like that was so fun as a community. I don't like how it ends. I do think it really does drop the ball for me in those like final like 2 episodes. I think after Agatha is revealed, I think it could have used a couple more episodes. I do feel like it has that kind of Marvel trope of like, oh, it turns to a movie in the final act or whatever. That being said, it's still very good. I think it's like, I think it's around like Jessica Jones and Agent Carter for me personally.
Paige, what are your thoughts on WandaVision?
Well, it's still the best Disney Plus show they've done. I do agree that it sort of has a soft ending, but I think that's clearly because Kevin Feige was probably like, hold on, we need to save some stuff for Multiverse of Madness because that's where this is leading into. So if that wasn't happening, it would have been a bit more interesting to see how WandaVision would have ended. But yeah, I think that's still the best show they've done. Disney Plus.
Let's move on to Loki. I feel like Loki also for me, both seasons 1 and 2 are excellent. I don't really have a lot of complaints about it.
Season 1, yeah.
I think season 2 does have some stumbles, but I think season 1 there's no complaints for season 1 for me. Yeah, I don't have a lot of negative to say about Loki. I really enjoyed the show. I've gone back and watched it a couple times. Yeah, not a lot of complaints from me. I think it's another show where I can just sit back and kind of let my mind go and enjoy the series. What about you guys?
I think season 1's pretty good. I think season 2 is probably one of my favorite things Marvel's ever put out. I think in terms of the MCU, like I think it's in my like top 5 MCU projects. I think season 2 was excellent. Like I think they really raised the bar on what can be done on Marvel television and what I like. I think it's the best out of all these shows. And I think the closest it's got to like Daredevil, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. status for Disney Plus for me.
Okay. Paige, your thoughts on Loki?
I only watched the first season. I haven't watched season 2.
Okay. What'd you think of it?
Good.
Okay.
Fun. Worthy.
All right. Oh man, I feel like some of these early Disney Plus Marvel shows were really good. I'm gonna say for me, This is another one where it's either good or excellent, or very good or excellent.
Yeah. It's definitely not excellent, Eric.
Yeah.
Don't even try.
I think very good is kind of where I'm at on that, only because there are some issues with the pacing of the show and how they did some of the episodes and stuff. But I enjoyed it a lot. It's one of my favorites. Also, it feels like an early era Marvel project, like phase 1 or 2 for me.
The biggest issue with this show is that they don't commit to anything. They introduce.
I think the biggest issue is the Flag Smashers. I think the Flag Smashers were very underdeveloped,
and I think they take too much time away from it. And I honestly don't know if you need it. You could have just had it like literally just a quote unquote fight for the shield, if you want to put it. I don't think you needed them, and I think it takes away from some other elements of the show. Like I think, if you just took those arse, like they're probably like arse villains out of the show, antagonists out of the show, then like you probably. It might have been excellent, but I think it's probably like a high good, low very good because of that. Because that was so bad.
Darren, any thoughts on the Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
I think it's very close to being excellent. Like I think it's like right on the precedence. I do think it is the villains that just hold it back. Like it's just like the little thing that's like it's almost there. I think it's like I think it's right next to Loki as like the second best out of these shows. I do think it should have been a movie as well. I don't think, as much as I love TV, I was nice seeing 6 weeks of Sam and Bucky. I think there should have been Captain America 5, or I'm sorry 4, and then this current one should have been 5.
So you think this could have been just take the Flag Smashers out and make it a movie with John Walker and stuff? Yeah,
make it make it that he like what's his name? U.S. agent.
Yeah.
Make it that he's just being a dickhead when he's going around doing Captain America act, and then the final act is literally them fighting him.
Yeah.
To get the shield back, and then that leads into Thunderbolts, where he's like this demoralized, had this like title stripped away from him sort of guy, and leads into that. But the more I think about it, the more I get angry because those villains are so fucking awesome. And at the end, when they try to give us let's feel some sympathy. No, don't even. What are you doing? Why are you even trying to even chuck that in there?
All right, let's do Ms. Marvel. Now, my opinion of this is probably going to make people angry because I don't think it's excellent, but I think some people would put it in excellent. I'm going to put Ms. Marvel in very good as well. I enjoyed it, but I think that this show to me suffered the most from not having a showrunner, like a proper showrunner.
I agree. Yeah.
Like if you look at all the Marvel shows that came out in this era, I think Ms. Marvel, with like a showrunner and a story that did not connect so heavily to things outside of her bubble, would have made an excellent series.
They needed more episodes. Like it did not work.
I was literally going to say, if this show had more episodes, I'd probably like it a bit more. But I think it's just fine. I think it's probably in the good area, but it just feels like the pilot's really there's no. I guess it wasn't a pilot, but the first episode is really good, and setting up the character and everything like that. And then they just tried to speed run everything. Like,
I still think it's a fun show though. Like I'd still sit and watch it, but it definitely needed a showrunner, like a proper show.
I think more episodes. I think even if it was just the way it was, but it's just the story actually had time to breathe. It's just like, let's get this done as soon as possible, sort of. I mean, I'm fine if you put it in very good. I'd probably put it in good.
Yeah. Darren, your thoughts?
I love Kamala Khan as a character. Like, I think she's probably my favorite character out of these like Disney Plus shows. She's fantastic. The actress is fantastic. Best part of the Marvels. Like Paige said, that first episode is excellent. Actually, I think all the episodes are like pretty good in general, but it feels like you're watching two separate seasons of TV. It feels like you're watching the stuff in her hometown, and then she has the stuff where she's like going home and stuff like that, right? And they just don't work together. Like, I would have at least made that two separate seasons or done like a 10 to 13 episode season. She's a character that just works really well in a television format, but they don't let that breathe. Like episode 1 also had a really cool artistic style that just like disappears by episode 3. Also has a very bad villain problem. I think the villain's awful. Couldn't tell you a single thing about that character.
Clandestine. Well, it was like that whole clandestine, like alternate reality storyline.
Yeah, it that didn't work for me. It was just like, okay, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think she needs a season 2.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think they might just rope her into like the whatever the Young Avengers is going to be. So, all right, so let's go to Moon Knight now. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait on this one. I want to see what you guys think about it before I make up my mind because I don't really know where to put this.
Like Miss Marvel, really solid first episode, and then to quote Jay Sean, it just goes down, down, down after every single episode. I've never seen a show have so much appeal in the first episode, everyone being pretty hyped, and then it just decided to go, you know what? Let's not be good. Let's not be good. Let's be like a waste of time. Like after this first episode.
Right. Darren, did you watch Moon Knight?
I did.
Any thoughts on it?
I hate Moon Knight.
Wow.
And I think it's a personal thing because I didn't even like the first episode.
Right.
I think Moon Knight's one of the boringest shows I've ever seen, which is a hot take. It's in my bottom 3 MCU projects.
Right.
Which is just a personal thing though. Like I know people love it and I love that people love it. It's just not for me.
So I think they had one of the best actors in one of the worst showran shows.
Yeah.
Again, could have used a showrunner. Probably would have made the show better.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it in regular because I don't think it's bad. Let me make my argument here. I think Oscar does a great job. I think the suit looks really good. I like the juxtaposition of the personalities. And I think a lot of the elements of the show were interesting, but it kind of shits the bed around the halfway mark for me. Where I feel like it was the tone really was the problem for me. There was no, I think the point was to make it feel sort of erratic and scatterbrained, but it's not a very pleasant watching experience. So I think as an experiment, it made sense for them to try it, but I don't think it was successful. So I don't even know if a second season done the same way season 1 was done would work. I think they need a proper showrunner, and I think it needs to be more enjoyable as a watch, which I think is what happened for me around the halfway mark. So
yeah, like it's such a cool concept, this this multiple personality. And I never feel like they take any of those concepts as far as they need to go to make you invested. Oscar Isaac, like if it wasn't for Oscar, I think it would be a complete dud for me. Like he carries that show. If it wasn't for him, I don't think I'd give a shit.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, we're getting towards the end here. Let's go ahead and jump into She-Hulk. Why did you laugh so hard? I didn't even say anything yet. I just said She-Hulk.
Because I know you're going to try and glaze.
I actually enjoyed She-Hulk, right? It's not excellent by any stretch. I don't even think it's very good. I think She-Hulk is just a good show. I had a lot of fun with it, but there's a lot of missed opportunities with the series. But overall, I think it was one of the least, it didn't give me a headache like some of the other shows did. Like if you're looking at everything below She-Hulk, some of those shows would give me headaches. She-Hulk was kind of like turn off your brain and just laugh for 30 minutes. But I will say I would like to see this character in the hands of someone else, like how a director or a writer would handle her outside of the confines of this sitcom type of story that she was doing. Because I think She-Hulk was pretty strong all the way up until the last couple episodes, specifically the finale, where I think it really fell off. And I like Tatiana, so I'd love to see her come back again, obviously. But for me, it's just in the middle.
Yeah.
I can't justify putting it higher, but I also enjoyed it, so I don't want to put it lower than good. So that's just me. Any thoughts from you guys?
I love She-Hulk. I think it's great. I do think they handled it wrong though. I think and this is a problem that we're seeing as we're getting through some of these shows. It should not have it shouldn't have had that these shows are so worried about having to have this bombastic ending where it's oh shit, we have to have this overarching story. No, you didn't. Sitcom, I think the show works better as a comedy show, episodic comedy, and a episodic lawyer show. And I don't know if it does either of those super well, at least to the point I wanted to do. I wanted to focus a lot more on the attorney at law part of the title, a lot more on the comedy stuff. And I think at the end where they're like, oh shit, we forgot to have a plot. Here's random stuff at the end. That doesn't work for me. You needed more episodes to do it. I think I would love a season 2 with the actual showrunner that's focusing more on episodic stories that are like, okay, here's 13 episodes of a She-Hulk comedy. But like you said, I think like the character of She-Hulk, fantastic. We absolutely need to see her again. I think the comedy.
Would you want to see her in like a group thing, like in a team up thing, like when she's in a movie, or would you prefer another season of her show?
I mean, I would prefer a second season where they, like you said, actually have a showrunner and stuff. But I would also be down if she makes cameos in just other people's movies, like as a lawyer, like the lawyer part of it. I think that would make sense.
There were a lot of people were saying they could see her being in like the West Coast Avengers thing, whatever that ends up being.
Sure.
So, Paigey, your thoughts on She-Hulk?
Come
on, get to it. You have to know how you feel about it. You've talked about it several times. So.
Yeah, look, I don't like it that much.
Right.
Like obviously it doesn't really look good. It's not like an.
I do think the visual effects was one of the biggest mistakes on the show, is they couldn't afford to make it look the way it should.
Yeah.
And I think like obvious. My biggest issue was, I know it's subjective, like it's always going to be subjective, but I think for show branding itself as a comedy, it wasn't very funny.
Yeah, sure. I get that.
Yeah. It definitely doesn't all land. Like I think when it doesn't land, it's very apparent.
And they do linger. It's not like I hated that character, like the drunk sorority girl sort of thing that was always hanging.
Madison.
I couldn't stand her, and it was like the running joke throughout the entire.
She's like Madison season. With the Y, but it's not where you think.
Madison, they get the fuck out of here. That's what it should have been. Because
you didn't like her, Wongy.
I hate that lingering. What do they call it? What's that thing? Is it like a Californian drawl, whatever they
Valley
call it?
Girl, like a Valley Girl. Is that
Valley Girl drawl, whatever it's called, where they linger, like hello.
Come on, Wongy. Hi, I'm Madison with the Y.
Yeah, God. So bad.
All right, let's talk about a fun show then. Here, I'm going to put this in very good. I thought Hawkeye was very good. I enjoyed the show.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think Hawkeye's probably, and it's also, I think it's probably the most consistent out of the shows as well.
That's a fair statement. Yeah, I would agree with that. Hawkeye felt like a show that might have had a proper showrunner before we had showrunners. Something about the story just flowed. I know a lot of people didn't like the whole Kingpin element and everything, and there was obviously
that's probably the weakest part.
Yeah, people complained about, obviously Kate Bishop being the main character, considering they thought it was going to be mostly about Clint, but they never advertised it as a Clint show, so I don't know why that was even a complaint. That was pretty much established early on. I enjoyed the show. I like the setting. It's a very Christmas, like if you want to watch it around Christmas time, like the perfect time to watch the show. And I would even argue, in my opinion, I think if we're talking about this new, whatever this Young Avengers, Champions, West Coast Avengers thing is going to be, whatever they end up doing, I think Kate is one of the best options to keep that sort of going along, because I think she's great. What about you guys? Thoughts on this?
I loved this show. I think it's like one of the Marvel projects where it's like, I can see that there are flaws, and I definitely have some flaws with it. There's things that don't work for me, but it's so much fun. You have so much fun with these characters and its settings and its action, like set pieces, that you're almost like, you know what, whatever. Like, I think it could have been paced a little better. I don't like how they handled Kingpin. Just like, again, bombastic ending at the end, where it's like, okay, throw it in there, whatever, just make it work. I need more episodes, I think, stuff like that. But like, it is so much fun. Like, especially I think the two main characters of Kate and Clint, their chemistry is fantastic. I think Kate Bishop is one of the best like new additions to the MCU. I think along with like Ms. Marvel and stuff like that.
What did you think about her relationship with Yelena in the series?
I like it. Again, I think some of these elements needed to sit a little longer. Like I think we needed to spend more time with it. Yeah, it's good.
That's true, Tony. The Tracksuit Mafia was funny as hell.
I mean, Echo as well. Yeah, a lot of that stuff.
Paigey, I know you mentioned it was good. Any other additional thoughts on it, or?
Not really. Yeah.
Okay. Screwface with a $5 super chat, guys. All right, so where are we at in super chats? 3 out of 10, and we still have an hour to go. So you guys can clock in at any point. Lock in. Don't get geeked out. With a $5 super chat, like Ms. Marvel, She-Hulk was one of the few Disney Plus shows that actually felt like a TV show instead of an extended movie. That's true. Also, Madison is the see that, Paigey? Madison is the greatest of all time.
Get out all the time. That's what it stands for.
No, I agree. I like Madison.
Get out of my scenes.
So I would love it if Madison not only got her own show, but is also like a cameo in every single Marvel project going forward.
To be fair, I wouldn't really mind that because I'm probably watching fewer Marvel projects than I'm watching as we go forward in time.
But you would definitely watch a Madison show, right? Madison with Wong.
I'd probably turn into like one of those, like, what do you call them? The grifters, and just hate watch it and go like, just like.
Yeah, they could call it Matawong, like WandaVision, Matawong. Like
I would call it like causing myself. Well, actually, I'd probably call it road to insanity or road to lobotomy. One of the two, because it would lead to one of those two, or both.
All right, we're down to 3 shows here, and let's go ahead and put the worst Disney Plus show ever in its place, which is
Welcome to Scott Buck territory.
What a fucking disaster of a show. Everything from the AI intro to choices that were made throughout the show that just completely made no sense. Overpowering characters, introducing arguably the most powerful character in the MCU in this show as a Skrull.
The best part of this show is Ben Mendelsohn.
Yes, 100%.
He's the best part of the show. And I can't believe it. You know what? It strung you along as well because you're just thinking, surely this has to get better. I think everyone was watching it.
I did. Like, well, do you remember when the first couple episodes came out? I was like, I think the show could get better. I like the premise. It had a vibe to it. The first 2 episodes really set up what could have been a really cool show. Yeah. And then it just went downhill from there. I can't even forgive the first 2 episodes because of how hard it dropped the ball on the show. Yeah. I actually think, and I will fight on the top of the hill for this. I think that this show hurt the Marvels.
It did.
Because you hurt the Marvels. Well, you don't care. Like they try to do this thing with Nick Fury, and like it's so bad. Like the rest of this, like it doesn't work with his story. Like you just don't care at the end of the day because it's so, like all the stuff surrounding. Like, his story is meant to be connected to that main thing going on, and it's so fucking arse. So you just don't care about it. So he gets fucked over by it. It's I am surprised how bad it was.
Gia, the super powerful, like now she contains the powers of Captain Marvel, Thor, the Hulk, every single MCU super Scarlet Witch, all of them. Like I don't know if she'll ever look. If she does come back, she would have to be. You don't think so? You think she's gone?
I think she's gone.
If she, hypothetically speaking, if she ever did come back, I don't even know who they'd put up against because she's so powerful. I don't even think any individual Marvel character could beat her, to be honest.
Yeah. I would not be shocked if they make it non-canon. I would not be shocked if, like, in Secret Wars, it's like, oh yeah, there's a reality where this happens, and they show a clip from Captain from Secret
Or it was just all a drain that Nick Fury had. He's like, God, that was trippy. Like, I shouldn't have eaten that day old burrito or something like that.
You know, the other thing is that I think this is a perfect example of a character that is really popular but doesn't need their own thing. I don't think Nick Fury needed his own thing. I think Nick Fury being mysterious was what made him cool. And by giving him his own show and showing that he was just at home watching TV with his wife and stuff, it took the cool factor away from the character. And I hate to say that. And I even said this in my review. I hate to say that because I want to give every character a chance to really explore their backstory. But I think Nick Fury just showing up and telling people he knows things and assigning missions really was the best place for him. And if you're not going to do that with him, then he needs to be in action or some kind of espionage thing. Not this. This didn't work for him, in my opinion. Just personally.
It sucks because there's so much potential in this show. Like, I feel like what we had saw in the trailers and stuff, I think it sets up a really cool kind of vibe of a show that can be. And I'm someone, while it was airing, I actually liked the first 4 episodes. I was actually really enjoying it. And in episode 5, I was like, this feels kind of weird. episode 6 might be one of the worst episodes of television I've ever seen. And that episode, I think, imprints Secret Invasion as the single worst MCU project.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't finish. Like, it literally felt like you were mid-episode, and then Kevin Feige was like, time for the Marvels. You have to get going. You have to go. Like, you're done. And it just doesn't finish. They're like, oh, I'm going home now. See you guys.
Also, I think setting up the most powerful Marvel character in the history of the MCU in the last 5 minutes of your show is one of the dumbest things you could ever do.
You know,
or Olivia Clark too, because she deserves like she deserves to be a big character in this universe, and we're probably never seeing her again, which really sucks for her.
You know what this reminds me of, Eric? It's like, what was that thing when you got that pizza delivered? What was wrong with it? It just came with nothing on it, didn't it? It came with just the base.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that time you ordered that pizza. I think it might have been a pepperoni pizza. It came with no sauce, no cheese, and no pepperoni. Right. It was literally just an undercooked pizza crust.
Yeah.
That's what Secret Invasion is.
But
to make it worse, like, the pizza driver sat on the box. So even though you weren't going to eat it, you still got a crushed pizza.
It just keeps getting worse and worse.
Poor Maria Hill as well. Like, they
yeah.
They killed her for nothing.
God, so many things bad in this fucking show that I forgot about.
That pissed me off so much because I was like, she's finally the like supporting character in a show. She's finally going to get that screen time she didn't get in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Bonus points for now revealing War Machine was not around when Tony died. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things.
Did Talos die in this show as well?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
What a god. Yeah. Talk about ass.
And Nick Fury didn't give a fuck about any of them. He was like,
no. Also, didn't Val recruit Gia? Didn't she recruit her at the end of the show?
Mm-hmm.
So
she shows up.
Okay. So she does, but she basically tells her, like, you have to do this or we're going to do this. Some kind of like blackmail with her.
Here's my theory. Do you reckon the Thunderbolts kills her off screen?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if they mention in Thunderbolts that she couldn't sustain her stuff, so she's kind of evaporated. I mean, what a way to go for an actress who potentially could have been a really big character in the MCU for her to just like be killed off screen. I don't know.
Honestly, Secret Warriors just like recast her as somebody else. Just like bring her in as some other character.
All right, so we're gonna bring up. We have 2 shows left here. Look, I'm very sad about where I'm gonna place Echo, but I have to be honest. Echo for me, unfortunately, falls into like the regular spot, and let me tell you why. First and foremost, I think the last 2 episodes of it are not great. I think that Marvel kind of lost faith in this about halfway through production and just didn't want to do anything more with it, which really sucks because I think that everybody behind this project, and we know this because they've talked about it, went the extra mile to make the show good. And I think, and I give them credit for that. I give them credit for every single fucking thing they did in terms of representation, in terms of like, because none of the stuff that they did in the show was trying to outdo the story they were telling, which is a testament to like actually putting together a good TV show. But I think there were so many things in this that missed the mark. The whole thing with Kingpin and the eyes that you could see and do sign language with and stuff like that. Like there was a lot of weird decisions in this that come off endearing in some degree, but then come off cold and like almost throwaway by the end. This show could have been good or very good for me, but unfortunately it just makes so many mistakes. And then the very last episode, everything that happens at the end feels extremely rushed to me, extremely rushed. And the only thing this show served to do, unfortunately for the show, was set up Kingpin as becoming the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it did. And that's really unfortunate because I wanted more for the show. And, you know, maybe we will see this character again down the road. I'm not holding my breath. I think Echo is a done character. I don't think we'll see this character ever again, unfortunately, unless it's in Daredevil. I mean, she could show up in Daredevil. That would make the most sense, but I don't know if she will at this point. So for me, I'm just going to put it in regular. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just because I'll probably never watch it again, to be quite honest.
This really sucks because I love what was here. I legitimately think what we got was really, really good. It's just not finished. It's a half-baked show, and that's not their fault. They were told to stop. they were, they had at least 6 episodes. They had to stop at 5, 6, 7. They had to stop at 5.
Yeah.
So many clear elements of the show were there. They worked, but characters were just missing in episodes. They don't really explain her powers all the way. And again, I fully think they were going to. They were cut off prematurely. But I think this is the most an MCU thing feels like a show. Which is weird because it's only 5 episodes. Yeah. Like the way they write the characters and the cast and how it's paced, it feels like a TV show. It feels almost like Daredevil and Punisher and stuff like that. And it's like this, the whole time I'm like, this is what I want more of. This is what I want to see more. But also, you also can't give it that benefit because they just didn't finish the show. It's half of the show. I mean, again, I really want a season 2 with a proper showrunner and a show Bible and a proper episode count. And I'll be honest, I actually don't think it's completely out of the question because it did do very well in the ratings due to having Kingpin and Daredevil in it. And it's also a very, very cheap show.
Yeah, it's not expensive at all. Yeah.
So I say give them a season 2 just to have something on Disney Plus. Have it be a cheap little thing just on the side.
Something like what James Gunn is doing with some of the DC properties, like greenlighting inexpensive stuff that can just kind of keep the story going. Yeah, that makes sense. Paigey, did you watch Echo? I don't remember if you did or you didn't.
Yeah, I watched it. It was easy to watch. It was 6 episodes and they weren't very long. It was easy to watch. It was just sort of you can tell they were half-assing it. It was just sort of I think regular is the best spot to put it. I don't think it's insultingly bad like those ones down in the bad section. It was clearly trying. It was just mid. I know that it was just mid's probably the best word to use. Nothing was great in it, but nothing was insultingly bad. It was just sort of mid from start to end.
Yeah, and it's one of the few times where there was no complaints from the cast about Marvel cutting corners with people with disabilities and stuff. Everything was done very well.
Clearly the show was meant to be. It's just that the show itself was never really meant to be this.
Well, Darren, you was talking about them cutting episodes. I mean, I wonder if that's why they rushed into that mystical power thing at the end to sort of wrap up everything, because it felt so last minute in terms of everything they did. So I don't know. We have a super chat and then we have one show left to rank. Cameron here with the $2 super chat. I think Nick Fury show can work, but needs a showrunner. I agree. I think most of the complaints about these shows could be corrected with a showrunner. I think a lot of the issues with anything from the Disney Plus side, with the exception of She-Hulk, I think She-Hulk felt the most like a real show anyway, in terms of the week to week stuff. But I think all of the other issues that they've had with these shows could have been fixed with a showrunner, and that's going to be reflected in the next show that I talk about, because I think the next show actually, to me, was the most successful, non-connected sort of story out of all the ones we've had. But thank you for the super chat. Agatha All Along for me goes into excellent. I love the show. I've already watched it twice. I think it's one of the best things Marvel has done because it's a contained story. Yes, there are connections to WandaVision because clearly it is a spinoff of WandaVision, but there's no larger MCU stuff that you have to understand to watch the show. And to be quite honest, you can get past the WandaVision stuff with just a little bit of knowledge of who Wanda is based on what we got in Agatha All Along. I think the show is excellent. I have no complaints about any of the show. For me, it's up there at the top. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very good. Okay. I don't know if I'd put it on the excellence of Loki or Daredevil or Shield. But no, I loved it. I think the show was right up my alley. I think, we talked about it on here for many weeks, but I think this is exactly the kind of stuff I want more of from them. It did feel more in line with a TV show and a showrunner and stuff like that. I was very heartbroken this week to hear that they're not going to be doing a season 2. And we were
going to talk about that on Tuesday, but I forgot to bring it up. But yeah.
No so season 2. That's frustrating for sure, because I do think there's definitely ways we can expand her story and stuff like that. I'd say very good.
I think Jan Schaefer originally didn't want to do a sequel to WandaVision, but then Patti LuPone didn't want to do a sequel to Agatha All Along, and I'm like, okay, so I don't know where to go with that. I'm assuming that the next thing we see is going to either be a Wiccan project or something with or the Young Avengers, Champions, whatever storyline, which is okay. But to be honest, I like the kitschy vibe of Agatha all along, and I think we need that in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in some way. And it's very obvious that stuff like Agatha works like that. And I don't know if Marvel understands or quite gets how important that is. And maybe they will when they realize that they're not doing another season of it. And there kind of needs to be another season of it. Mm-hmm. And you can tell all kinds of stories. Agatha's been around for a long time. You could do a season where it's her doing something for a week in the past. You could eat like her story with Death. Dive deeper into that. Yeah, dive deeper into that. Paigey, what are your thoughts on this? Because I know you watched it as well.
Yeah, I'd probably put it in roughly very good. It's just got growing pains, so I think it's hard to put in an excellent. It's just the first 3 or so episodes, it's got growing pains, and I'm sure in retrospect the showrunner will probably fine tune that a bit. But yeah, I think it peaks, and then I don't think the last episode's maybe flows as well. But I think overall it's a pretty solid show where I think it's at least very good. I think it fits into very.
All right.
Good.
Well, that was the last show on our list. So everybody take a look at this. And if you're watching this on playback, let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with any of my rankings. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of disagreements about what some of these shows are, especially some of the ones I put high, some of the ones I put low. I'm pretty sure people are going to.
Assuming there will be a crucifixion in the comments for probably Agatha, probably She-Hulk, and the Scott Buck fan club.
Oh, yeah, probably the big Scott Buck fan club. Anyway, all right, so that is it for that. And I know, Darren, you probably got to get going, don't you? But thank you for hanging around. You made it through the entire ranking list. I know you stayed a little bit longer, but I'm pretty sure that was something you wanted to do. You wanted to do that, so I'm glad you stuck around. But check Darren out. When is your next live stream, Darren?
Oops,
you're muted.
Sorry. My next live stream will be on Monday with Darth and Taz. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so check out Darren, which, by the way, Darth said he's going to join me soon, so he's going to be on one of these streams as well, so it's kind of good. Anyway, all right, well, thank you, Darren, and he's going to get out of here. We'll see you next time.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
All right, let's see here. Where are we at and everything? All right, we are 4 out of 10 super chats, you guys. We have 47 minutes left to get 6 more super chats to hit the goal. Nope, they're not getting locked in tonight. I feel like there's a lack of locked-inness that is happening.
There was that. We went over the Goon drive-through meetup. Maybe that's brought down the amount of lock-ins.
Possibly. Let me see. I had something else here. Where'd it go? Okay, so I wanted to talk about this right here. I saw this today and I was like, what is this? So the UK is looking at making households who currently use streaming services pay a BBC license fee. Now,
if you
educate me here. Okay, educate me on this because I've heard that that you already pay a license fee if you watch cable TV or whatever in the UK.
No, it's not even that. If there's any British people in the comments, they might. But I know if you have to pay a TV license. So it's not necessarily. Right. So even if you have just free to wear, I think you have to pay the thing, and they come and knock on your door and make sure that you're paying it and stuff like that, which is
really
cool. So at that point, when you just watch on your laptop or something like that, I guess a TV's a TV. But I'm not surprised. They probably try and get as much money as they can.
Well, you know what this tells me is it tells me that the shift has finally hit them financially. You know what I mean? The shift from traditional TV to streaming services, because I don't think they cared too much before, but clearly there's enough lost revenue that now they're saying we need to make up this money somewhere. So this is where it's happening. I can't imagine paying for that though. We talk about a lot of the ridiculous things that in the United States that we have to pay for. There's a lot of ridiculous shit we have to pay for over here. For example, if you buy a vehicle, maybe it's like this in Australia too, and it's state by state, but if you buy a vehicle in Virginia where I live, you have to pay every year taxes on a vehicle that you already own. Every single year. It's called personal property tax.
Do you have to pay
for? Go ahead.
Do you pay registration?
Yes.
Okay, so that's on top of that.
Yes, and inspections. So we pay a tax on owning it. We have to pay a registration fee. We have to pay an inspection fee on top of that every single year.
To be fair, when I was over there, Americans are awful drivers, so I feel like you should be forced to pay that because some of the driving over there was cooked.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but yeah, so it's crazy to me that we're in a spot where people would be paying extra. Like anybody in the chat, I don't think we have a lot of UK people in because of the time of night it is, but anybody that's familiar with it, I would love to hear how much something like that costs. Do you have any idea how much it costs for like a licensing fee or anything like that in the UK?
I don't think it's like an arm and a leg, but I think it's like an inconvenient fee for something. Saying you buy the TV, and if it's cable, you pay for the cable already. Like it's definitely not like a $2 charity or something like that.
Defunct with $2 says locking it in. Thank you for your locking in. We are now 5 super chats away from hitting the goal. 5 super chats. We are at the halfway mark. Lone Wolf says I would change Carter to good, Falcon to good, and put Gifted and Punisher in very good. See, he's arguing for very good for Punisher. You do not feel that way about Punisher.
No, fuck the Punisher, man. Sort of us.
That's so funny. Look, we got South Texas Shark locking in. Paige, you see, all we had to do was talk about locking in, and people were like,
"No, we had to talk about the Goon drive-through." That's what brought it in. We bring up the Gooning drive-through. What was it? The last Goon, and that's what's making people lock in.
Is that what it is?
I think so. Might need some confirmation.
Defunct says I've got most of the UK relatives. I don't think it's too much, but it's a pain for those on limited incomes. Yeah, it's probably like a nickel and diming thing, like $5 or something stupid like that. Paigey, did you see? Oh my God, did you see this?
I don't know, did I?
Let me show you right here. The Will Smith Matrix scene.
Here we go. A TV license costs £169 for both homes and businesses.
Oh my God, that's a lot.
At £57 for black and white. Who's watching black and white TV in 2025? Apparently, if it's a black and white TV, it's £57. So it's £169.50 for the year.
That's crazy. All right. Anyway, so we have Will Smith has answered our prayers. Okay, everybody. I've been praying for this. What?
Is this the sequel to the slap? The Oscars.
Yeah. That's what this is.
He's decided a hand wasn't enough. Dual Uzis, Chris Rock. Dual Uzis.
Can you imagine if Chris Rock dodged the slap like the Matrix, where he's like falling back and the slap just goes right past his face? That would have been.
What if it was like that, but it hit like Jada Pinkett Smith's bald head and like created this like big, like seismic. It's like a ripple effect. It's like.
I don't know. I'm gonna mute
point short car though, Paigey, with a black and white license. You could still watch Zack Snyder's Justice League. Justice is great
over and over again, every day, for the whole year.
And what was the other black and white thing?
Werewolf by Night. You could do that.
No, what's your Birth of a Nation? Your movie?
No, but Werewolf by Night was black and white until the very end. So,
what happened at the end? I haven't watched it.
It goes into color in the very end of the movie.
Why?
All right, here we go. Let's watch this.
Why is it muted?
Because it's got background music that would get it claimed. Would you have watched this? Like, if he was Neo, now that we're seeing this here, would you have watched this?
I don't know. It looks like he's gonna get jiggy with it. Whatever.
Didn't he turn this down for Wild Wild West?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Wild Wild West. But we got that banger of a song, so I think it's probably worth it.
Yeah.
You love that song, don't you? It's got Thong Song Cisco in it.
Not really. I actually hate that song, to be honest.
Bullshit. It's such an
I do. I hate that song. So look, I think that you're probably going to be excited about this. Did you see this?
No, Jack and Logan Paul. I saw the advertising for it or something. I was like, what's going on?
They're going to be, it's a reality TV show on HBO Max.
I mean, probably a lot of people will probably watch it.
Okay, so we talked about
this could be a car review.
Oh no, I'm definitely not watching it. But we talked about desperate shit. Like you see the CW doing all these things that look desperate because they need to make money. This to me screams desperation. This is Max going, we don't have anything that's pulling people in. We need something cheap to make that's going to pull in a lot of viewers. So let's do a Jake and Logan Paul reality TV show.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably like, I'm assuming, because I saw the poster, I'm assuming it was leading out to one of them having a fight. Yeah. I mean, wouldn't be expensive to make.
They're starting a new reality show for Max. Paul American it's called Paul America. Paul American?
Oh, I think it's a typo. They've missed an I there.
Okay, I was going to say, as I was saying it, that doesn't make any sense.
Paul
American. Premiere Thursday, March 27th on the streamer. The 8-episode series will air weekly on the Max leading up to the season finale in May 15th. According to Max, the series promises archival and never before seen footage of the duo. So it's just an archive series? Are they just using unused footage that those guys had already? Because they film everything. So
yeah, it's probably that. It's probably like also they probably follow them for a bit, but then they use various.
So wait, is it going to be like? I have a feeling it's going to be following them up until these pivotal fights and stuff like that. That just stuff that they had filmed that they never put on their channels.
Probably.
Oh, that's even cheaper than I thought it was going to be. Never before seen footage of the duo with unparalleled access to the Paul family and their inner circle. Paul America, they spelled it right there, peels back the curtain to the most raw, honest, and intimate moments of the brothers' over-the-top, high-octane lives. You can't tell me they're not trying to appeal to political stuff by calling it Paul American. I mean, that sounds to me like...
What does that mean? What's it? Was it meant to be like All American? It's meant. Yeah. I'm assuming it's a play on that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But I feel like that's them trying to make it political. Paul American? Is that just me? It can't be just me. That sounds like them trying to make it. They could have named it anything they wanted. Paul American? It's not even a good pun. Because it's not. It doesn't mean it's not even a double entendre. Like it doesn't mean two things. It's just it's a bad pun.
Maybe they could have called it. What could they have called it? Paul Wall. Isn't he the rapper?
I don't know. Yes, Paul Wall is a rapper. But I don't even know how that would play in anything.
What's Paul Wall's song?
Oh gosh, I don't know. He said he doesn't really do anything anymore.
No, what's that main song he has?
I don't know. I don't. He's not a good rapper.
Yeah, but you're into that type of stuff.
I only know music that people actually ask for. No one requests Paul Wall, so I don't even know.
Someone comes up into club and goes, "Yo, drop that Paul Wall."
Never. And I've been working as a DJ for 30 years. No one has ever requested Paul Wall.
Okay, if you ever go to Eric's club, anyone that's in here, I need you to request Paul Wall. Oh, Grills. That's the song I was thinking of. Grills. Eric loves that song.
I don't think I've ever heard it more than once. Oh, look. Paul American is executively produced by Jake and Logan Paul. Well, so it's pretty... But I mean, that means it's all their footage. Max didn't do anything. They're probably just buying it from them.
Well, probably also gives them the chance to use the footage on their channels and not get copyright, stuff like that. They have a stake in it.
Maybe. Oh, I saw this too. This was interesting. And I don't know how they're going to do it, but Matthew Lillard is coming back for Scream 7. How are they going to do that?
But did he actually die?
Chat, you got to remind me. I think he did.
He just gets stabbed in the stomach, doesn't he? Or shot in the stomach?
But I think that insinuates that he's dead, right?
Yeah, I mean, Felicity got turned into Swiss cheese and she stayed alive, so...
I don't know. This is I like Matthew Lillard though, so this is good news to me. Yeah, he did die. Oh, we never saw a body though. Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah, the TV fell on him. Yeah, that's like. It wasn't like it was just like an older. It wasn't like a massive TV.
Oh come on, he was supposed to be dead. Give me a break.
Yeah, but it's supposed to, not 100% confirmed.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I'm scrolling.
Hold on. What is going on there? Dick button? What is dick button?
I'm not clicking it.
Well, I don't think you should. Does anyone want to let me know what dick button means?
If somebody on the chat wants to look that up and see what it means, they can just tell us what it is. Let's see what else we got here. Got a few things in the pipeline. Did you get your tickets for Captain America yet?
No, you don't buy it. You don't have to do that in Australia.
We'll do that over here.
Don't have to do it over here. The only movies you have to do it is like probably Avengers Doomsday, probably the first one to do it.
Oh yeah, maybe.
The only movie in the past post-COVID, or the only two movies post-COVID I think you would have had to do it for opening day would have been Spider-Man, No Way Home, and Barbie. Barbie was sold out on that opening day.
Christo says, "Do any of you subscribe?" Well, I love his little his avatar there. You see that? Did any of you subscribe to the theory that Stu? Did any of you subscribe to the theory that Stu and his partner in crime were lovers? I don't subscribe to that one. So.
Cheeked up on the stream
on a Thursday. Cheeked up on a Thursday. Lone Wolf locking in with a $2 super chat. Speaking of cars, what do you think of Cybertrucks? There's a lot of people Cybertrucks in Australia.
No, but there's more and more Teslas and stuff. But I don't think the Cybertruck's here. I think there is one, but I don't think it's like, what do you call it? Like, I don't think they're actually like you can properly buy them.
So you have to have them imported. Then is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like I don't even know if it'd abide by the roads here and stuff because of the size of it and stuff like that.
Is it like too wide for the?
Yeah, like I remember going over there and seeing some of your stupid trucks. I'm like, why are people driving these massive cars? Like they're so big and wide. Obviously compensating, but apparently Dick Button is a figure skater who died. Did he die in that plane?
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, so that again, we're not going to talk too much about it because it will get the stream.
Because I know there was figure skaters in that.
Thing. Yeah, it was figure skaters, and a lot of them were very young. So, yeah. I just make it wonder if the name is why it's trending, which is.
But I'll tell you what, I'm seeing more and more Teslas. Like there's heaps of Teslas around now.
Yeah. All right, before we get into my fan casting, let's do one more thing here. Okay, so apparently someone told me about this. There are like 60-minute long unskippable ads now on some people's videos.
Imagine if you're just too lazy or you're like lying and just too lazy. It's like, I'll just watch the ad.
I can't imagine anyone sitting through a 60-minute unskippable ad. I didn't answer about the Teslas or whatever. I mean, I was laughing at them. I think they're a little stupid. I mean, that's probably the best answer I can give. I don't like the way they look. They're poorly made. I wouldn't have one. So... yeah. Well, the 3-dub, I think the thing is a lot of ad blockers are not working for people. That's one of the big issues. So, look, I understand that they have to have ads on stuff because obviously we as YouTube creators do make money off of our ads and things like that. But I think I've seen, if you go to the subreddit, the YouTube subreddit, some of the ads that YouTube is letting go through. Have you seen some of these ads? I can't show them on here. Even though
there's like ones for like pornographic games and stuff like that on.
Yeah, and they're on all of they run on all age tiers. I mean, I know YouTube Kids app doesn't have ads, but on regular YouTube, no matter what the video is, it can run on that. And I've seen people saying that they have their kids like watching these videos, and you're getting like straight up like adult video games being advertised. So. Good luck.
Interesting.
You want to see what this community note is? I wonder what the community note says. I have access to that, so let me click on that. Oh, they took it down. So the note's gone. Community is not entirely accurate. While ads are still short on mobile and PC, television ads are becoming very, very long and up to 60 seconds long. But that's not it. 60 minutes is the one that we have an issue with. This post is misleading. YouTube statement claims that ad blockers may be the cause for the viewer's experience. Unskippable ads are still limited. Oh, are they trolling? Is that what's happening? Are they trolling people with ad blockers by putting not the ad blocker doesn't work and you get a 60-minute ad? Is that YouTube hilarious. Doing that? It says YouTube maintains that it does not intentionally serve unskippable ads that are minutes long, let alone an hour. I don't know. I feel like that might be a troll on YouTube's part. That might be YouTube trolling, honestly. I wouldn't be shocked if that were the case. Okay, so let's drop this down and drop it low. We are 8 out of 10 with 28 minutes left. You guys came through in clutch. They got locked in right at the end here. South Texas Shark with a $2 super chat. What kind of car do you drive? Well, I've had a lot of cars. My most recent 2 cars were both Nissans. I don't know if those are popular in Australia or not. But I had a Nissan Cube, which was a tiny.
Oh my God, that is an awful car, Eric. That car sucks ass. The Cube. I've seen them driving. Like, what dickhead is driving that?
Well, I'll let you know. I can't
believe you drive a Cube or you.
I don't. I said cars I had. I was talking about
hopefully that was a
last 2 cars that I had.
Hopefully you had that for a day and you went, wow, I look like a dickhead.
Why are you being a car snob? You're being a car snob right now.
No, I'm not a car snob. But there's a difference between being a car snob and having half a brain. That car looks like ass. You drive that car if you want people to look at you and go, wow, what were they thinking?
Well, I'll tell you the exact opposite happened to me, because when I first got the car, the dealership that I got it from, it was one of 3 because they didn't have a lot of them. And whenever I was driving anywhere, I got tons of people that would stop when we would stop at gas stations and stuff, coming over asking me what kind of car it was, where I got it from. They were very interested in the car.
Eric, bring it up on screen. Bring it up on screen. Bring up Nissan Cube. This looks like... Does anyone remember that episode of The Simpsons where Homer finds his long-lost brother and they build that stupid-ass car? Mm-hmm. This was the other one that Homer was going to build. This was plan B in regards to what Homer was going to build.
Okay, here we go. Whoops. Why is it Pinterest? Why is it taking me to Pinterest? Hold on. Is there one that's not Pinterest? Hold on. We do no Pinterest stuff. Here we go. All right, here we go. Share. There we go. What? What's so funny?
This car is so ass.
You don't like it?
I hate them. I sometimes see people driving around them. I'm like, what are you doing?
You wouldn't drive this one?
I'd be embarrassed too if I had to. I don't know why Eric used that picture. It looks like it's from Need for Speed.
Hold on.
He's used hold on. Can I bring up the photo? Because you've used one that makes it look half a tiny bit better. Here we go. This is the photo. This will make you go, wow, Eric, were you stoned or were you forced to?
No, hold on. Hold on. Let me see what you got up here. That's not bad looking. What are you talking about?
I'm sorry. This car is so bad.
That's not. You pick the standard model. If you drive off the lot with one that looks like this, it's going to look plain.
Sorry. I didn't realize you were taking it to pimp my ride.
No, I mean, I had custom rims on mine. It was a bright color. I had a bunch of stuff done to mine.
Oh my God. Eric. It's awful.
I'm trying to find which one I had. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Oh, damn it.
Jasmine says bright colored rims. That makes it worse.
No, not bright colored rims. They were chrome rims. Hold on. Why can't I find the model that I had? I guess there's not a lot on here. I don't know. They don't have it. Anyway, mine was black with like neon stripes. And it had like chrome rims. They were offset tires. So
what's your current car?
Nissan Murano, which is an SUV. I'll show you.
It's like a Pajero.
Let's see. I had a Rogue for a minute, but it got totaled.
What'd you do to it?
We had a flood here, and it flooded it.
Oh,
let's see. So this
it looks like it sort of looks like those Hyundai. What are they called?
God, these pictures are all not great.
Yeah, this one makes it look like it's good. Like it looks like if you wouldn't be able to fit into it unless you're under like 4'10" or something.
Yeah, hold on, I'll show you. So like here's what it's
back. It almost looks like a flat Tesla, like the shape.
Yeah, let me show you. So this is what mine looks like. It's a different shade of red, but it's like that. But it's like a more like rich red. This is more of like a
cherry.
Yeah, like a cherry red. So,
that's the color of my car. That car there.
Okay.
I have a Volkswagen Golf.
Right. All right. Want to give a shout out to Luther with a 99-cent super chat. Thank you so much, Luther. We are still very close, everybody. So close to hitting the goal. Let me go put a heart on all these super chats. Thank you guys so much. Whoops, what is that? Screwface, that was your first super chat? Thank you. I don't know, it tells me when it's somebody's first super chat. So yeah, we got 22 minutes left. All right. So 22 minutes left. You guys can see what's left on the goal at the top. So go ahead and tap in. All right. So some of my fan castings. I don't have pictures, but I'm going to say the names. And if you guys want to see a picture, we can see a picture. Now, some of these I went through and looked at what other people said. And I was like, all right, sounds good to me. So I thought about Brainiac. Have you thought about like who should be playing Brainiac in the DCU?
Not really, to be completely honest.
So I thought about this and I saw a few people talking about it. I actually think Cillian Murphy would play a good Brainiac.
Killian.
Is it pronounced Killian?
Yeah, I think some pronounce it Chillian, but I think that's when he's chilling.
Cillian, Million. Let me show a picture for anybody that's not familiar. I guess I should pull up pictures of these actors here. So let's see. So this is who I could see as Brainiac. You guys know who this guy is. So is this a thumbs up or thumbs down for DCU fan casting for Brainiac? Would you do you have someone else that you would Maestro says Ethan Hawke as Brainiac. Maybe. Jason likes him. RL Morales says Jim Carrey as Brainiac. I feel like that's a troll.
Jim Carrey.
Do you think we're gonna when do you think we'll see Brainiac? How long before we see him in the DCU?
It probably depends if they do anything else with Superman. Maybe. I don't think. It's probably a character I could see Gunn wanting to use. So I don't know. Probably in that first chapter, maybe, or at least tease to him.
Joke, not troll. Pronounced like Killian. Okay, so it's not Chillian then. It's not like he's chilling, I guess. RDJ as a troll for that? No, I don't think so. I did see that Chris Evans was like, I'm retired. I'm not coming back for any Marvel films.
As if he wasn't just in Deadpool and Wolverine last year.
Yeah. So stupid. All right, so that is my Brainiac fan casting. What else do I have here? So we talked about Deathstroke, right? And I would love to see the Deathstroke from the DCEU come back. Personally,
You know what? Just quickly on Deathstroke. That's what they were calling the guy that did the Goon drive-through.
Oh my god! No comment on that. Let me pause the stream on this side over here. Where's it at? There you go. Deathstroke. It's so stupid. All right. Anyway, I put John Bernthal would be a cool Deathstroke. What do you think?
I could see it. I mean, I can't think of anyone for Deathstroke at the top of my head. It probably depends what age you want to go for. Like whether you want to go a bit older, maybe a younger Deathstroke. Apparently we hit the goal, I think.
It's Punisher is who I'm talking about. I think you could do a Deathstroke.
I guess so. I could probably see it, but don't know if he'd be the... You know what? I'm going to go Frank Grillo. I think he'd be an absolutely fantastic Deathstroke.
I don't want him in there, to be honest. I don't want him even in the stuff that he's already in.
Are you sure about that?
I'm positive.
You're a big fan of Richard Commandos, though.
Chat, thumbs up or thumbs down for John Bernthal as Deathstroke. And if you don't like him, give like your fan casting for Deathstroke. I feel like he'd make a good Deathstroke, personally. By the way, we have hit the super chat goal. Let's look at these super chats. And while you guys do that, give me your thumbs up or thumbs down on that. South Texas Shark with a $2 super chat. What food is your state known for? Well, Paigey, is it considered state food over there, or is it more like regional stuff? Because I don't know how it works.
I mean, if I think of like seafood, maybe like oysters or something like that in New South Wales, something like that. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Something like that, probably.
So I know what I think that our food is here, like what we're known for, but I wanted to look up and see what it actually was. So around in my area, peanuts and barbecue are the things that are the most prevalent because we're Southern, so barbecue is a really popular food. And we're so close to North Carolina, which is known for its really good barbecue. So that's kind of what our area is known for. But apparently we're also known for oysters, Brunswick stew.
Brunswick stew.
Well, it's actually from Brunswick County in Virginia here from 1828.
Aren't you in West Virginia?
No. We're also known for strawberries, apple butter, and country ham. Yeah.
What about Pizza Hut or Domino's?
We're not known for Pizza Hut. We're not known for that. All right. We also have a $1 super chat from 3Dub for contributing. Thank you so much, 3Dub. I do appreciate it. And then we have a $20 super chat from Kayla closing us out for the night for the goal. So you guys, we've reached the goal. Thank you. Kayla here says, are you watching Suits LA? I don't think it's out yet. Doesn't it come out in February?
I guess it's like, are you going to watch it?
Oh, am I going to watch it? Maybe, possibly. I've not watched all of the regular Suits, so I don't know how much of that I have to watch Suits LA. It looks good, and Steven is essentially playing Oliver from season 1. I just hope he doesn't get typecast as a Batman rich player. I don't want another Robert Pattinson situation with Twilight. Robert Pattinson has actually done a lot to break out of that, but I don't think he's totally gotten away from it yet. But I think he's made a good effort to do more indie stuff. I think Stephen Amell is totally comfortable just doing TV shows like this for the rest of his life. Because he tried with the whole, like, what is it, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing? That didn't really work out. and he's got a lot of stuff going on with like wines and things like that. Does he still have that wine business? I think he does.
Sure.
But anyway, I'll probably check it out. Is it on TNT or TB? What is it? Is it on what station is it on? FX?
I think it's on NBC, I think.
NBC, okay. So Peacock. It'll be on the Peacock streaming service, which we
Let
have.
me see a Peacock.
Yeah, Peacock. I'll give it a shot. I'll watch the first episode when it comes out. I think it's in February. So we'll see. February something. Let me look it up. Let's see what the date on that is.
Do you think all the people that were slamming him during that strike thing are like sitting there going, "Oh shit"?
It's February 23rd. So yeah, it is the end of February. So we'll check it out. So thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it. So you guys keep voting on the poll until we get to the end of the stream, and then we'll see what we got. All right. So John Bernthal here. I have a couple more before we wrap everything up.
Actually, you know what? I was watching that girl show. You know who fucking shows up in an episode randomly? I was sitting there going like, who is this guy? He looks so familiar because he looks different. He didn't have like a beard. And for some reason, I think I was used to seeing him with a beard and stuff. And I was watching it, and he shows up in one episode. I think he's only in one episode for the entire show. And it was fucking your mate, Chris Wood.
In Girls?
Yeah, and he plays this like gay dude, and you see his ass and everything. Like I was like, oh,
yeah,
I was like, that. I was looking, but he looks different. He looks like him, but he looked different. It was just obviously like much. He's like 10 plus years ago or something.
Was his ass good though? Was it good? In that?
I don't know. Do I have the skills to for ass?
I mean,
raping?
you can just rank it, like
particularly the male ass form.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know you're the one that wears chaps, so like
I do. Actually, yeah, I have several pair. So, all right. So this might be a out of left field casting, but I thought about because let me tell you all the names I have here, so everybody knows who I'm talking about. So on the rest of my list, I have John Constantine, Oliver Queen, Zatanna, Martian Manhunter, Reverse Flash, Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, and Hawkman. Those are the rest on my list that I wrote out here. So the next one I'm gonna do is Constantine, and this might be a crazy one, but I think Boyd Holbrook would do a good Constantine. What do you think? He's on screen now in case you don't know who it is.
My eyes are open, Eric. Thank you for. I think you need a British guy.
So you don't think he could pull it off? You don't see it?
I just prefer if it's like if it's probably just a British guy. Like I don't know. There's probably like a bunch, especially if you just dye their hair blonde, like as well. Like, yeah, I'd probably prefer some British person to do it.
So if it wasn't him, what British person would you?
I don't know. They're all pretty much the same, so you probably. Is that racist? I think that might be racist. I don't know. You were saying that you can't be racist to white people last stream, so stick by your words, Eric.
I don't remember saying that, but
you did. I think you said something was like a conspiracy theory.
Did I?
Yeah,
by the way, did I tell you we were looking for movies tonight to look at?
Well, I know you said that it was okay to go gay for pay or something like that. I think that's what you said.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's what I said. We were looking for movies tonight, and the two movies that we had on the list, and I mentioned one earlier, was that Unfrosted movie.
Oh yeah, I watched that. Yeah,
with Jerry Seinfeld. So that was one of them. The other one was Fly Me to the Moon. Did you ever see that movie as well?
Fly Me to the Moon's a better movie. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so we had those two movies up.
It has an Arrowverse cameo in it.
And Fly Me to the Moon?
Yeah, because it's directed by Belanti.
Okay. So we had the two movies in front of us, and we flipped a coin to see which one we were going to watch. And unfortunately, it landed on a movie that we didn't finish, which is Unfrosted. We started that movie, and about 45 minutes into it, we just cut it off.
It's not. It's just like,
oh, it's shit. It's a shit movie.
It's just trying to be like a parody. It's like a parody biopic, but like doesn't fully commit to either. It's like, Yeah, it's like
it felt to me like a bunch of SNL skits kind of squeezed together. It didn't really make much sense. It just wasn't good, and it wasn't funny. I didn't laugh. I literally did not laugh for the 45 minutes that we watched it, and I turned it off. I was like, "We've got to turn this off." It's just not.
Yeah, I don't know if I can't. I watched it when like it was on Netflix. I think I watched it like maybe like the first or second weekend it was out.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember anything funny from it. I'm sure there was something I might have like somewhat laughed at, but I can't remember anything off the top of my head.
All right, so my next option is for Oliver Queen Green Arrow, and I'm assuming they're going to go with someone who's not like super young, but not super old either. So I picked Jarrett Hedlund. What do you think?
Do you think Garrett?
Is it Garrett or Jarrett?
I'm assuming it's Garrett.
Well, there's several people I know that spell their name this way, and it's Jared or Garrett or Jarrett. Like I've heard it said different ways. So, regardless, what do you think of this cast?
I was just going to see how long you'd linger on the correct spelling, pronunciation.
No, I wasn't. I was giving you a chance to say something.
Oh, sorry, my fault, my bad, Eric.
He was dating Emma Roberts, apparently. So,
but apparently they split based off that bottom right image. It's not only just telling us they split; it's showing it as well with the ripped image. They went full on with it.
You know, it's funny. The only thing they need there is like some big bold letter that says "it's over" or something like that.
Yeah, like we're done.
Yeah,
or something on like crying.
Thoughts on this? What would you say for Green Arrow? Is this a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
It's probably like a thumbs sideway. I mean, seems fine. Yeah, it probably depends what age they go.
I was thinking. So my issue is if they're casting up a lot of these classic characters as older, Green Arrow might end up being older. So I don't know if this is a safe bet or not, to be honest.
Yeah.
Short Car says we got their full love story in one image.
What is that? Emma Roberts gave Garrett Hedlund, and then just doesn't tell us. Leaves us on like a cliffhanger.
We'll never find out because now we're moving on to Zatanna. So this is probably not it's not an edgy fan casting, but maybe it's predictable. It might be predictable. But here's my fan casting for Zatanna. Is this edgy? Anna de Armas?
Well, some would call you a gooner, I think, for choosing Anna de Armas. Yeah.
Why? Why is that? Why would it be? Is this gooner territory?
I think a lot of people do goon.
I mean, look at this picture here where she's blowing a kiss. That might set off.
But then it's next to a picture of her not. So what's the story there? We're basing off the Emma Roberts Garrett Hedlund thing. There's a story there. Is this a dual personality? One's brunette, one's blonde.
I don't know.
I think she'd work. I think she could probably work as like you know who she looks like, especially in that. Who's that actress? Eliza Dushku.
Okay. Like but Eliza's like she's a lot younger than Eliza though. Eliza's like
she'd be like what 50 or something?
Yeah, in her late 40s, early 50s by now. All right, so let's see here for my next casting, which is Martian Manhunter. Now, this is someone who could have possibly been the next Kang, but I'm going to say that Coleman Domingo could be a Martian Manhunter. I think he would be a good Martian Manhunter.
He actually probably would as well. Yeah, especially if he played like they're doing like the detective sort of thing with him.
Yeah.
And just like his voice would suit it as well. Like,
well, because I think he could pull off like with the voice and his like mannerisms, he could pull off someone that's not quite human. You know what I mean? I think that would work.
Yeah, he could. I mean, I think just mainly his voice. I think his voice would suit it pretty well. Yeah, he'd probably be a very, very good choice. What's his ears look like? Because I like when Martian Manhunter because I think that's what worked with David Harewood. He had like unique ears. I know it sounds so weird.
Right here we see in this picture, it looks like they've got like a little.
They got like a little flick out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can kind of see it here too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. Martian Manhunter in style over there.
So would his Martian Manhunter have swag?
I think so. Yeah, 100%.
So would he what would his detective outfit? Would he wear would he wear a hat? I don't know if he'd wear a hat.
Probably something like this, maybe like a little trench coat thing, or whatever.
Tiny bit more undercover, not standing out as much. Maybe like a.
Right here. This would definitely be
that I think might stand out like a fucking the sorest thumb in the world. Hold on, I'm just rocking up to the crime scene. Let me put on my pink fit.
This might be a Photoshop. I don't know if he owns any pink or not. Oh, look, here we go. This one. There we go. This
is something. Sorry, this is like Eric would go to a red carpet dressed like this, and then claim he's never worn pink or something like that. You go, I don't own any pink clothing. I've never worn pink in my life.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. He's got a lot of style.
Wait,
I mean,
go up. Is that him without facial hair?
Right here. Yeah. It changes the whole look, right? He looks like a different person. Yeah. But I could see him do a Martian Manhunter. I think it would work. 100%. Yeah. All right. So
he's going to rock up there, and that with him with the shorts. It looks like he's going to play tennis.
Oh, right here. That one.
It's going to rock. That's him rocking up to the crime scene.
All right. So now we're going to move over to one of my personal favorites, which is Reverse Flash, Eobard. And I'm going to assume that because Wally will probably be the DCU Flash, that Barry's going to be an older character. So I'm going to assume that Eobard will also be older when they cast him. I'm going to go with someone that I enjoyed in the Marvel universe that I think could play. And this, I don't think anybody's mentioned this, or maybe they have, and I just don't remember. But I'm going to go with Michael Fassbender as Eobard.
But would he be older? I mean, he can time travel.
Well, yeah, but I think they're going to go with somebody that can play like a range of ages, like either like younger 40s or mid 50s. I think they're going to go with that. I think they're going to be in that bracket somewhere, honestly, because I can't imagine Eobard being Wally's villain. I can't imagine that. And even if he was, I think he'd still be older than Wally, if that makes any sense. Or do you think they're going to do the thing where they're supposed to look the same, and whoever is playing the Flash is also going to play the Reverse Flash? Do you think they're going to do that? Or
no, I don't think they'll do that. But I mean, if it's Wally, then when they probably use your mate, Hunter Zolomon.
Would they?
Well, I mean, if I think of like that's Wally's Reverse Flash.
No, I mean, like, or do you think they would definitely do that, or do you think they would switch it up? And
I don't know.
I mean, I'm trying not to think so obviously. I guess is the way I'm going with this. Is that maybe they'll do this, maybe they won't do this. I'm not totally sure in that regard. I
don't know. I just think if they did Wally, like Eobard's whole thing is pissing off Barry. I think if there was it wouldn't feel like there was that much connection. But Hunter connects to Wally, so I think that'd probably fit better.
Maybe. They could always cast Grant Gustin as Eobard.
The thing is that you could probably do this. Michael Fassbender could probably play Hunter anyway, but but Hunter's probably a bit more versatile in regards to who you could cast. I think you can honestly cast anyone, regardless of even race as well. You could probably race bend Hunter's on. If you wanted.
I feel like you could. Yeah, 100%. All right, so now we're moving in. We're getting down to the last couple here. I have 3 more. So for Poison Ivy, all right, I have selected Jodie Comer.
See, I cast Catherine McNamara.
Would you?
No, I'm trolling. Wake up, Eric. Knock, who's there?
I actually think Jodie would be good as Poison Ivy, personally. I remember from Killing Eve is the show that I remember her from. So.
You think people would blog that it's not a natural redhead?
I mean, maybe, but she is beautiful, right? I mean, she fits the mold. Like Poison Ivy is supposed to be seductive, and I feel like she fits into that.
But I think it also comes through her personality as well. Like you look like Uma Thurman and Batman Robin. It's her personality and stuff.
So do you think this is someone that could be Poison Ivy, or do you think the hair has to be like a natural?
I could see Jodie Comer as like Black Canary or something.
That's actually better. That's a better casting. Does that make sense? All right, let's see here. Pull out a picture of my next choice. Now, I picked this choice knowing that this really depends on whether or not something happens in Marvel. But this is my choice for Mr. Freeze in the DCU. Get ready. What do you think?
I guess, yeah, because you've probably got an older Batman. So, yeah. I was going to say, like, you probably got to play it pretty well.
I just think he's a great actor in general. He plays a really good villain.
Yeah.
So I could see that. The only issue is depending on what they do with this character in Marvel, because I'm assuming that he's not going to come back after Captain America. So
well, did they say that they were setting up a Disney Plus show for him or some shit?
Were they?
I think someone put that out there.
I don't know. Not for
He's
sure.
like 2 seconds of apparent screen time leads to it.
Well, they said that his scene is like the beginning of the movie. It's like how the movie starts. All right. So this is my last one, and this is Hawkman. And I looked around to see what other people were thinking, and I didn't see anyone picking this one. And maybe, I don't know, maybe someone has. I didn't see it when I was looking around. But here it is. This is Hawkman for me. Alexander Skarsgård. Is this a hot take or?
No, it's probably a good fit. I think you need, I can't think of anyone on the top of my head, but he's probably a good fit.
Well, I mean, I like Aldous as Hawkman, but I don't think he's going to come back. So I think they're going to pick somebody else. So
I don't think so either.
I think he could do a good Hawkman. I think he's got the height. He obviously is in the shape to do it. I think he could pull off sort of that stoic vibe, because I think Aldous was playing more of like a Hawkman that's been living, in modern times and hanging out with humans. I think that he could play, depending on, because again, Hawkman and Hawkgirl's backstory has been changed over the years in DC. So they could go with something where he, with the transference of reincarnation, or it could be like an alien thing or a combination of both. I don't know which way they're going to go, but I do think that Alexander could play a good visual representation of Hawkman, and he's a good actor anyway. So I think he could pull it off. But this is my last. I saw people were saying that Aldous was up for the next Black Panther casting. Did you see that? That they might bring him back as T'Challa or something like that?
Yeah.
Would you be okay with that or no?
I mean, if they want to, like, they're clearly going to what do you call it? They're
going to age up the kid.
Age up, advance through time travel or some shit.
Yeah.
His son. So
basically, T'Challa Jr. is going to be the next Black Panther. So
yeah, but I'll just call him T'Challa.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's almost like nothing happened.
Yeah. All right. With that being said, those were the between that and the ranking poll. Those were two things that you guys paid for, and so there you go, delivered. Let me check and see what we got left on the list. Let's see. So remaining bonuses are, we did the MCU show ranking. That's gone. DCU fan casting is gone. We're going to be doing a fan film next week. Paige, we still have to do Arrowverse memes. Maybe we'll do that next week sometime. And we're doing a comic book topic and the Arrowverse villain ranking. Those are the next things we have to do. And then whatever you guys have picked on tonight's poll. So let's see what it is. We're going to end the poll now. You guys have selected by 60% of the vote, Paige. I guess they didn't want the car reviews. That was the worst one out of all of them.
RIP the dream.
Yeah. So another 5-hour stream. Now I know some people were saying pick a different time, because apparently that was somebody said it was in the middle of the night for them. Where would it be in the middle of the night? Because I started
in fucking Antarctica or something.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where it would be, because it went across time zones.
Was it your mate Hero's Journey? Isn't he in like China or something?
I don't remember. I haven't seen Hero's Journey in forever. Is he okay?
No, I think you offended him on stream.
I don't know. I think it might have been you. I don't ever offend him, so probably you. But I don't remember because I started the stream early enough that people in the UK could make it, and then it went on long enough that people in Australia wake up and they were able to be there. So that's why I did it where I did it. I mean, I could shift it a little bit, I guess.
Just start it a bit later. Just start it like...
Well, the problem is if I do it on a weekend, I can't. I can only start it a bit later if I do it on a weekday. Like on a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. I can't on a weekend. I would literally be going to work so late that I can't.
Maybe that's where you need to start committing, Eric.
Yeah, right.
He got mad.
Yeah, okay, I remember this.
You read it out.
He got mad at something Paigey said and demanded an apology, then left mad. I remember. I don't remember what it was though.
Knowing him, it was probably something minor.
Does anybody remember what it was or when it happened? I think it was like 3 or 4 streams ago. I don't know. Oh, Perth would be in a different time zone than Paigey. Like that would be a different time zone.
Yeah, Perth's on the other side. It's like almost like New York, LA.
Yeah.
I think it's the same time difference that New York has to LA.
All right, so we got another 5-hour stream. So I'm going to put that in the list over here. So what we will do is the next 5-hour stream will include some of the things we haven't done, which is the comic book topics, the Arrowverse memes, and the Arrowverse villain ranking. All of that will be in the next 5-hour stream. So I will schedule that in the next 2 weeks. So something with Supergirl. I don't think it was, though. I don't think it had to do with Supergirl. I don't remember any arguments about Supergirl. To be honest.
I think I called him a sexist, didn't I?
Did you?
Because he was always going on about Supergirl, so I think I called him a sexist.
All right, so chances are Hero's Journey has been watching the stream but not chatting in the chat because I can't imagine he just disappeared. So he's probably watching but not chatting.
So he's
Anonymous says the chat has been at peace without them. So apparently he was bothering people in the chat. I didn't even realize that. Was he arguing with people all the time? I don't know. I guess I wasn't being a good host and paying attention to all of that.
Well, nothing new. Eric in his own dreamland.
Maybe. So I purchased a bunch of like snacks. Obviously we had this tonight that I was eating, the Skittles gummies, but I have like I went to the international market and I got a handful of different things. So on Monday's stream, I'm going to be trying different treats from the international market.
Do they have mint slice?
I don't think I got that. No, I don't think I got mint slice. Is that something I should get though?
Yeah, you had them once though, like with the Tim Tam.
Oh, yeah. I have to look and see. I did Sprite Cranberry. It's on the it was a Christmas stream, I think.
Yeah, you almost vomited.
Yeah, it was a Christmas stream. Yeah. I still have true story. I have like the rest of the 6-pack still sitting there. I'm not drinking it. So look, it's probably good mixed with something else, but by itself, it's not good. It's just not good. That's just my opinion.
What does it taste like?
Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like soda water, but I don't know. It's not good. It's not good.
Yeah. You say this. I don't know. People seem to be really excited about drinking Sprite Cranberry on the yearly basis.
Never again. It's done now. It's over. Never again. That will never be on there again. Okay, so here's the deal. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. We've reached the end of the stream. Thank you guys for all the super chats and hitting the goal. You always come through. Thank you so much. Mexican snacks. There is some, but I'm not going to say what they are. You'll have to wait and see.
Mysterious Mexican
snacks. There were some. I did get a couple of those. I think there might have been sort of an ice joke in there somewhere, but we're not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. As soon as
Eric takes a sip or a bite, he gets a knock at the door and gets deported.
Yeah, we're not doing that. Anyway, thank you guys again. We'll be back on Monday for the stream, and I will be trying some snacks then. And I will actually be doing a fan film review with 3Dub and anybody else that wants to join. Probably on Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. I'll put it up soon. I'll find the fan films and get those together. So we'll see everyone then. And so have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you later. Bye.